I could only fit the 6 or so I bought in the back of my truck. That's all I could put in my truck. I could have bought the whole thing. A guy showed up and bought the uh, the planer, and another guy bought um, the table shaper. And they were all high school tools, but they were made in the 40s.
They were
Uh,
made to last then.
Good
yeah,
stuff.
and consider they had to be beat by kids for all those years. I just, it's one of those things where, we're closing out the industrial arts class. No, you're not. You're stopping teaching kids what they need to know. That's all you're doing. It, yeah, it's. We joke about it sometimes, but when you see somebody that they're 25 years old and they get a flat on their car, and the only thing they know to do is call AAA. Um, they have no idea where that extra tire is. Um, Absolutely no idea how to put it on. And that's the reason you see tire wheels on the side of the road. They don't know how to tighten lug nuts.
Or
Uh,
they don't have the strength to,
right. It's
because they didn't work in the cornfields and baling hay. They were sitting on their butts watching YouTube or playing video games.
probably got the strongest freaking thumbs on the block.
Yeah, but can't lift anything.
Eddie,
Hey,
along those lines, the high school here, they got rid of all their conventional machining tools, all their conventional lathes, everything, and went with CNC. And having run machine shops in my life, I can always hire a guy to push a button on a computer, but I have a hard time hiring a machinist. Uh, I'd rather them learn how to machine, and I can teach them how to put a button on a computer.
Yeah.
I
The
helped
school didn't see it that way.
They
the
kind of
fellow
got it
wood
back.
turner who creates some really nice artistic furniture. And I did some craft shows with him, or art shows. And he says, "Hey, would you help me out? I'm going on vacation for 2 weeks, and I have to have somebody watch my class." So I went over there. There was only an hour a day for 2 weeks. Went in and I put the project on the table that I come up with, and I said, "Okay, there's the lumber. Let's get cutting it out." And this one kid says, "We can't touch that equipment."
Mm.
What? He said, "We can't touch the equipment." And I said, "Okay, I'll cut it out." And he says, "Good luck." There were no blades. I mean, this was a high end middle school or junior high school. They had a nice shop, clean as a whiz. And I knew why it was clean after that comment, because they were not allowed to touch a machine, not allowed to cut anything else. And we talked about, I brought in probably 20 different joints and some wooden puzzles and all that I made, and showed them, different techniques and all. I didn't talk about wood turning because that'd been way over the head. I mean, if I talk about wood turning, I'd still be there trying to explain how to turn wood. But that's what, for some reason, that's where we went. It's just a damn shame. Remember to send, I sent out the newsletter this week, and we had like 500 hits on it on Facebook. I have not got it edited to the website yet. That takes me a little bit of work, and a little. I had to have about 3 or 4 hours. I'm retired. 3 or 4 hours to put it all together, but we'll get it to the website soon. Uh, not website, YouTube soon. David is with us tonight. He could not record. He wasn't with us last week. He didn't get recorded the program, so I will send him the tape of it. David, I'm going to need some help on how to get it to you by Square. Or what that other thing is. Um, I don't have a paid membership for that. I don't know how I can do it. Um, Budget cutbacks. The boss said you spend enough money on this thing, no more. Uh, getting a lot of photographs in on the 22 pen project, folks. A lot of photographs. Some you returners are doing some really great work. I like it. And I actually saw a piece that one of our turners in the club, and it could be anybody in the world, but one of our turners in the club, he was on his local news talking about it. And he did a pretty good job explaining it. And his club wants to do it, but they can't finance it because it's only a 6 or 8 member club. So they're looking to buy 600 or 800 pen kits, and they're looking for people to donate just $1 a pen, which would, or $1 a person, or whatever. I can't remember it, but he was just looking for a very low donation from people to get involved. And he did one of those things where you can do a GoFundMe account. Made it even easier. You can do it on a credit card or through Apple Pay or Square, one of those other folks. So that made it easy. I like that idea. I like that for paying your club dues. Some clubs have gotten techno friendly with it, and they collect their dues from it. One club in Texas that's a member of SWAT has got a deal for you. If you pay through the internet, you get $5 off. I guess it's easier than collecting checks and chasing people down. Hell, I could sit home and pay my dues. Especially if they want tech savvy and they're doing Zoom meetings. Which, if you belong to a club that does video and audio, or has a possibility, get this, you can take a JVC 330, which is an old-fashioned hard drive camcorder. You can capture the output from it and put it right into your laptop computer and put that directly into Zoom, and it's all free. So you can take your club meeting and share it with anybody that wants to tune in. And it's free, just like we're free. And to me, that's one of the ultimate ways of sharing information. Just as you're producing it, it's being paid for by your membership. Share it. Don't say, "Well, we paid for it, you can't have it." That's really not the way we're all supposed to go. We're supposed to say, "Hey, I got this. I want to share it and show you how to build it, give you the details." You can put my name underneath it if you want. Woodturners do that a lot. But you can do all that, and how much more money are you out? And how many more friends did you make? I mean, I have a meeting in Waco, Texas, and you put your meeting to Zoom, and people all over the world watch your demonstration, do you really think it's cutting back on your income from the people in Waco? Isn't this a social event? Really? Yeah, I used to go to meetings to see who lies the most. Really? All of us. Haven't we sat there and told other woodturners how damn good we are and what we accomplished and what's going on? Every one of us has done that. Sitting on a tailgate, lying their butt off. So, and I don't mind that. That's what we do. Hey, we're starting a survey. It's not a poll. It's a survey. In chat, put in what kind of lathe. I'd really like to put this out as brand and model. But if you don't want to give me the model, that's okay. Brand and size. That lathe behind me is a one-way 2436. And after I got sick, we gave away my Jet 1014, and I had another Jet 1632 or something like that. that they told me I couldn't turn, so it went away. Um, but we'd like to know. I would like to know, and I like to put it in and let the results of the survey go up in our newsletter or whatever. I'd like to know, what are you turning on? Because we get, I get, you get, we all get these calls from people. I'm just getting into this. What should I buy?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you love that question? What should I buy?
Play the
Go to
30
Cadillac.
budget.
Yeah, go to Cadillac. Get one of those Cadillac pickups. Bring it by. I'll give you a lathe. Uh, but I want the truck. You know,
Yeah.
budget. Andy, that's a good point. Budget. But if I'm going to spend $1 and get something worth 50 cents, I'd rather spend $2 and get $2 worth. Um, I've seen these knockoffs at Harbor Freight, and there's a couple other people in the business that sell, I don't want to say knockoff tools, but copy tools. And a guy came by one day with one of those red Harbor Freight ones. Um, the shaft was twisted from the manufacturer. The shaft was twisted, and he wanted to see if we could straighten it out because Harbor Freight didn't have another one coming in. And I said, no, for what I have to do the change to straighten it out, I could machine you a new spindle. It was that simple of a piece, but it was bent. He couldn't have bent it the way it was bent that. But he was telling me he got a chatter. Everything he turned had a chatter.
Mm-hmm.
His tools are so damn sharp you could shave with them all day long. Everything he had a little chatter on it. I thought his chuck was bad, so he came over. He brought that lathe over. It's about the equivalent to a 1014, and he had he bought his chuck from Harbor Freight, and it was one of the ones where you had there was 3 dogs. You had to tighten each dog down to a certain degree in order to get it centered. It's a machining chuck. Machinists don't need anything centered up like we do, because they make it centered after that. He brought everything by. I mean, he had a bed of his pickup truck loaded with stuff to show me what was going on. As soon as we turned it on, I could see that arbor doing that, the shaft. I said, nope, all the other stuff will work. But I sold him an old one-way chuck that I had gotten from a guy the 2-bar chuck from One Way, and it gotten rained on like a million times. And I hadn't got to clean it. I talked to him about it, and he said, "Oh yeah, I got it." When I saw a picture of his work a couple of weeks later, he got it. That chuck looked like it was right out of the box. It was beautiful. Billy, you have an ink pen chucked up tonight, don't you?
Gene?
What are you going to turn tonight? I'm way out of pocket here.
I'm going to turn a pin. That's what Dane asked me to turn. I was asking him what he would like for me to turn, and he said that he was looking for someone to turn a pin. So that's what we're going to do. Maybe some with
In your
some
camper?
maybe with
Still in
some
your camper?
spectra ply, maybe.
Ooh,
I
that'd
like
be
Yeah.
pretty.
Billy, are you still in your camper?
I am actually in my garage right now with the camper inside. We had a roof leak on our last camping trip, so I don't want to put it outside right now because it looks like it wants to rain.
Okay.
So I'm kind of packed in here like a little sardine.
It rained. It rained.
Some new shingles on that camper, huh?
It's all good though. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm not going to steal your fire. I'm paid not to do that. But I was cruising through YouTube yesterday or Monday or whatever, and I bumped into this guy from, I think he's in North Carolina, and he did a pen from soup to nuts. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
he drilled it, he capped it, he did the ends. showed how to put the bushings in, and then he turned it, and I don't remember if he finished it. Did you finish it, Doug? No, Doug Miller's who did it. Oh, he's in Kentucky. I had it wrong. He's in Kentucky. Forgive me, Bill. I moved you.
Here we are. I'm here.
Uh,
Yeah, I finished.
oh, your video's not on, Doug. That's why we don't see you. There you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
There he is.
Wood
Hi, Doug.
spun round. It's wood spun round.
do.
Correct that, Doug? Yeah, I wasn't having a brain fart. Pardon me, a brain cramp. But that was a good video. I like that. I want to see what Billy does on the spectrum.
It was informative.
Oh, thank you.
It'll-
Thank you.
It's pain in the butt to turn it immediately.
But Billy, I think it's technique and tool.
Yeah.
I know talent. The three T's, talent's in there, but technique and tool. If the tool is sharp and you use technique to do slicing,
Oh yeah.
then you throw your talent in on top. People say that stuff blows up. I'd blow up two of you, a gouge into me like that.
I think I only had one pin come apart on the lathe, and it wasn't. It wasn't anything that I was doing wrong. It's just that I did a very poor job of gluing it when I glued my tubes in.
That can certainly happen.
Did you buff them or sand them before you put them in?
Oh yeah, wood I was turning was bamboo. Okay, so bamboo is notorious for coming apart. So that's the only one I've ever had come apart.
Wow. I haven't turned, of all the woods, I don't think I've turned bamboo. I've turned some weird stuff. Members have sent me some really weird stuff.
Yeah, kind of like turning paper. It'll just unravel on you basically. You know why?
Heard that bamboo just tends to, it'd rather explode than turn.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of like snakewood. Snakewood can be the same way. Rather explode than turn.
I'm going to experiment with some black palm. See how that works. I heard that's notorious for exploding.
I've used
Andy, you better have patience if that's what you're going to do.
I explode my snakewood pins on purpose. Then I go. Then no, really. Then if I'm going to do a snakewood pin, because I know it's going to crack, inevitable. It's pretty much inevitable. It's going to crack. So I just let it happen, and because the slightest amount of heat, even from sanding, does it. And so I just let it happen and then glue it all back together. And then I finish the pin, and it's got character lines, and everybody loves them.
I like it.
Good
I can
idea.
never find the pieces though when they explode.
Well, they don't really explode. I just wait for it to crack after I
Okay.
get it roughly turned to shape, and then sand it up real good. I mean, the slightest amount of heat is really all it takes. Snakewood does not. Snakewood and leatherwood, it's both the same thing. One's quarter sawn, one's not. Then it loves to crack. I've never had one that didn't. Never.
Oh wow.
No, Andy, you said you're going to turn palm.
Black palm. PSI had a big sale. You get 40 blanks for $50 exotics. So I got some black palm, Paduke, Bacote. They call them Osage orange exotic, but I don't know. But I got some of them too.
Is your palm stabilized?
No, it's just plain black. I was planning on flooding it with 3408. Maybe hit it with a belt sander, take the corners off, get it close to bushing before I start turning it.
I have never had good luck with red or black palm, either one, unless I stabilized it.
Okay.
I bought a 2.5 by about 3 feet long, 3 foot long, with Larry Zara from over in the Gulf Coast and Turner's in Texas, and he sort of two pieces, and he said, "I'm getting one of these. You should get one." Peer pressure. Okay. I must have tried 10 different things with it, and then put it on a shelf. And it was a year or two later when I finally understood what was happening that I realized It had to be only downhill cuts, no scraping, and the tool had to be so sharp I could shave you from where I was standing. Um, and then I turned out some nice pieces, some little
Okay.
boxes and all. But in order to get the boxes to hold up, I had to soak them in CA. But I did super fine CA when Starbine had the super
Yeah, I heard
fine.
you had to do that.
Yeah, the matrix that holds the red and black rods together is just so soft and fragile. It'll wear away in a heartbeat, leaving that hard stuff behind and leave you with some nasty ridges if you're not careful.
Okay.
Hey, Billy,
Well, thanks for the pointers.
Yes, ma'am.
I got a question. No, Billy Burt. I got a question for Billy Burt.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that a Band-Aid on your finger?
This one right here.
Yep.
It is, but it's not from the shop.
Okay.
Got yourself
I
shaving. Huh?
was no, I was doing some plumbing repair this morning, and
Oh,
and a plumber I ain't, and something scratched me, and when you start getting my age, your skin gets a little thin. I could bump into a steel bell bearing and bleed.
Yeah, Brandon and I having a Band-Aid challenge.
Yeah.
This was me when I fell down this morning in the hospital. You know.
Yeah, and I fell down today too.
And
Uh-oh.
the guy said, "You fell. Are you bleeding?" And I said, "No, not really." He said, "Well, where's that blood on the floor coming from?"
Hmm.
But
Came from somewhere, didn't it?
same thing, Billy. I had a spider bite, and it just got being in the pool every day. It got a little. It just didn't heal up, and the strap on my cane caught it and tore it. And that was their biggest concern, especially when I said spider. They figured the spider bite made me dizzy, but that happened on Saturday.
Brenda,
Yes, Ronnie.
ask Doug Miller. I think he's got a Bobo.
Uh-oh.
Doug Miller?
Doug Miller, you wearing a Band-Aid too?
Step up, Doug. Be
There we
proud.
go. I had to do about 3 things to get back on camera. No, I don't have a Band-Aid. What Ronnie's talking about, I went out to help my wife. She was working on tilling the garden.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing that on
And I was
Facebook.
with it, bent over to look at something down low. Yeah, I laid my hand right on that hot muffler, and it's still in the right light. You can still read hot on my hand.
Let's see it.
But it was fine the next day. I was able to do some turning. I didn't. That was on Sunday. I didn't turn, or Saturday when I burned it. Sunday I just didn't turn, but I did turn Monday.
Good, good.
When did you do
You
that?
got something to show tonight then, right?
Yeah, I do.
Good. All right.
I don't see your name in the list yet.
Oh no,
He's
I haven't
dying,
burned it
Brenda.
yet.
Huh?
I've been busy eating.
Okay, well, you're on the list now.
That's fine.
Sometimes the unfortunate thing is we're right at dinner time in most of the world. Well, not
Right.
where Donald's at. Donald, it's snack time in the afternoon, or
Well, I thought it was breakfast time where Donald's at.
breakfast.
Almost.
Okay.
Donald, what time is it?
Midnight or something. 2.
Donald. I know he's here. I seen him earlier.
We talk about Donald. If you get you on, Donald's our Australian
Donald
cousin.
Masterson.
Yeah, there he
breakfast.
is now.
Hours, isn't it?
There he is. What time is it there, Donald? Is it breakfast or lunch?
Breakfast.
Breakfast. That's what I thought it was.
He's only a few hours behind Martin and them. 2
Yep.
o'clock. in the
Martin's
morning.
just now coming in too.
Oh, good, Martin.
Yep. Just coming in.
He's dedicated 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, a couple of them represent the UK. We have a nice gentleman from Peru, and Pham Phoc Pham Dung is from Vietnam, and I saw work he turned in for the gallery in the last couple of weeks. He's turning pieces as big as me. That's huge.
Oh, that's the guy that turns the big stuff. Oh my, yeah.
Yeah,
Beautiful
gorgeous
stuff.
work.
I don't think he's that small, but he stands amongst his pieces and they're, you know, way above his head. Then he put a YouTube up the other day when he's turning and how he's turning it. Man, when I say what kind of lathe he's using, whew, his big lathe is on the ground.
Does
Yeah,
he
he does amazing work, doesn't he?
Yeah. Does he join our meetings, Eddie?
I don't think he does. I know he has emailed me at the club email address. I don't know if he's went through the website, but that's in a variety of what we turn. We've had people that do ink pens, like Billy's going to do tonight, like Doug did on YouTube, and we've had this guy turn something that has got that great of detail in a huge size, and I love it. I mean, you look at his work and you say, how did he turn that?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm seeing his stuff on Facebook.
Yeah, and his emails come to me in maybe it's Thai, but my software will interpret it, and then you got to read about 10 times to see where he's going, because we don't have the same use of verbs and nouns and all that. But it's another one of the interesting things you can get here on Worldwide Woodturners. And if you haven't invited your friends, this is a commercial. If you haven't invited the friends, your wood turning friends and buddies and club members, tell them we want to be involved. Now we're doing in a minute. Brenda's going to start calling for gallery and get you in on the program tonight, so we can see what you're turning. I mean, we just talk about what Pam's done. I want to see what you've done. Good, bad, ugly. I talked to a guy about that today. But invite your friends. Tell your members it's a good place to be. It's free. There's no commitments. We don't want you to quit something else and join us. We just want to expand the horizons of Worldwide Woodturners.
Yeah. Eddie, let me add something to that. If you're new on here and you don't feel yourself that you're like your stuff is like, so good to show or whatever, don't feel like that. Share it with us. And I'm a prime example. When I started coming on here, I showed my stuff, and it wasn't top quality, but a year or so later, I mean, you guys have noticed an improvement. So,
yes. And we don't.
Everybody share.
Yeah, I want anybody to think it's not top quality. Did you turn it? Is it good in your eye? Is it worth it for you to even own it or have it? Then it's worth it for us to see it.
Yeah.
And remember, we have a no but guarantee. If you show something in this meeting, we can say, I like it, or not make a comment whatsoever, but you can't say I like it, but. I hated that at clubs, where you go in and some guy becomes a self-appointed critic or art master or whatever. Don't hold up my work and say, I like this, but I want to go out in the parking lot with you, because in my heart, I like that work. I really do. I wouldn't have turned it if I didn't like it. And as far as quality, that's my quality. How can you make fun of my quality?
I told myself when I first started, I told myself, yeah, it's not top quality. It's not, as good as what I've seen you guys do, but hey, you can tell what it is.
And we're here to share. We're here to share and learn.
You can see it was a Christmas tree. So
that was just one weird ass Christmas tree, Brian.
And if somebody makes a comment about it, they're just joking. If they're making fun of you, it's just because they like you.
Oh, it's because one big family here, you guys.
Yeah.
That's right. And everything's fair. Remember, we can't be cruel. That would not be right. We can't talk politics because We all have an opinion, and we do not permit any vulgarity. And that's just the way it is. And we pull the plug at 9 o'clock Central Time each week, or as close as we can. Last week we ran long, I believe. But because we don't want folks to think they're going to miss something. We're already starting an hour and a half before we're supposed to, and we're running an hour longer than we are supposed to. And when we found this operation 3 years ago, I was told that'll never work. What can you talk about for an hour? And at one point in my life, I hosted radio and TV, and I heard the same thing from producers. What do you have to talk about? I was doing outdoors, fishing and hunting and all, and I said, you're not a hunter and you're not a fisherman if you don't know what to talk about. I got lies stocked up for a year. Brenda, we got some folks coming in. No but guarantee. Remember, if you've got something to show, we want to see it. Just put it in the chat. Put it in the chat and say, I have something to show. Exactly those words. I have something to show.
Yeah. Hey, before we do the gallery, we got a new member here tonight. I see that she's on. Heather, can we say hi to Heather?
Hi, Heather.
Hi, Heather.
Hi, Heather.
Hi, Heather.
Hi, Heather.
Can we highlight Heather?
It's a different character. Sometimes it takes
Heather, can you, you got a camera? Can we highlight you or?
I
Maybe
can't.
not.
I can't get Brenda.
Okay, wait a minute, I think I seen her.
Rosie said she's at work though.
Hi, I'm at
We won't
work.
tell her boss.
Yeah.
We won't tell her boss.
There she is.
Hi.
There she is.
Hi,
Hey,
welcome
Heather.
joining us.
I'm
Hi.
working.
We won't tell your
All
boss.
right, we'll keep you entertained then.
All right, thanks.
All righty.
Good.
So let's go to Billy Burt then.
Billy Bird.
Billy Burt.
Oh, Billy.
Uh-oh. All right, let me get my lights on.
There you go.
Ah,
You see a nice-
last time I was here, I'm blind. I can't see anything. Last time I was here, there were some folks showing off their Texas ebony. So I thought I would show some of mine off. Actually, this is
Ooh.
one thing. This is a carver's mallet that I made.
That's beautiful.
And it's Texas ebony. I finished it with, believe it or not, it's just Howard feed and wax. I've got some highlighted, there's some decorative turnings up here on the top of it, and some decorative turnings here in the bottom. The handle is Cocobolo, Bacote.
Cocobolo.
It's Bacote. I misspoke. Like I said, it's just finished with Howard's feed and wax. It's just a carver's mallet. I use it in the shop all the time, although it doesn't look like it because it's Texas ebony and is really hard and heavy. I've had people tell me, "Oh, that's too pretty to use in the shop." Well, no, it's not. Not for me anyway. I think I'm really happy with it. I've got a turned a 1 inch wide, 1.5 inch long tenon on the end of the Bacote blank that I had. And so I've got it and epoxied into a mortise in this Texas ebony. Like I said, I did this 2 years ago and I just use the dickens out of it. It works great.
Love
Oh,
it.
that's beautiful.
That is beautiful.
And the last one, I don't think y'all have seen this one.
Ooh.
Ooh.
If you've been on my Facebook, you've seen it, or on
think I have.
Instagram, but
Beautiful.
it's a little piece of wild pear. And I posted when I first turned it flat, I posted, I'm going to get some hate mail for this one because I covered some really pretty
Oh my.
grain. You can see here,
Mhm.
I covered some really pretty grain with paint, but
Oh,
I
beautiful finish.
I had, thank you. I had to do it. It's finished with lacquer and buffed out with Axe abrasive paste and polish and restoring paste.
It's beautiful.
Gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
It's just spun centrifugal. The black is actually not
Oh.
paint. It's black India ink, which is what I use for all my finials. Is super black Speedball, super black India ink. That's how I make black finials from just about anything, and it works really, really well. And this is an iridescent paint, and you need a dark background when you put iridescence on, or they don't show as well as they should.
I like how that flashes, really do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really shiny.
It's gorgeous.
Thank you.
It's great.
Yes.
Talking more
Very
about
nice.
Now I went from not enough light to too much, I think.
Yes. Yes. With that shine on that piece, yes.
Let me go to one bulb instead of two. That may help a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's a little better.
Great.
Wow.
But
With
yeah,
that
and
shine, though, it's gonna be
and
hard.
it is. Yeah, it's just really. It's just
Mm-mm.
lacquer. I love lacquer finishes. They just.
Mm.
My only problem is my Home Depot is out of deft and I can't get any. They've got plenty of semi-gloss, but they're out of gloss, Eddie.
You've bought it all.
I'm so sad.
You got any hardware near you?
Oh, now we're gonna have to up Billy.
Billy, I can get the
Local
Deft.
hardware.
I can get the Deft and the Minwax at my Ace Hardware. They carry them both.
Yeah,
Lacquers.
I've been told Ace has it, and that's all well and good. But the nearest Ace is like 35 miles away from me.
Well, I ordered the Deft.
okay.
I ordered the Deft lacquer online. It's actually cheaper online. Just do a Google search on it. Somewhere in Texas, an Ace Hardware in Texas ships it to me for like it's $3 off of the store cost. So,
Really?
yeah.
Hey, Billy, you
I'll
you
have to
live in
check.
San Antonio, right?
Yes.
We got one, there's a Ace Hardware on Thousand Oaks.
Yeah,
Is that-
I've seen that one. That I'm far west side, so
Oh, okay.
that's a trek that I don't make very often.
When you
But
I
do
don't
it,
make it to
stock
the
up.
west side,
I may
so-
have to though, because I am out.
I don't make it to the west side, so I know what you mean.
Ice cream run.
Yeah.
it's
And then
funny,
just stock up.
We'll meet halfway.
Oh yeah, when next time I buy Deft, I'm gonna buy all they have or a case,
you
whichever.
go.
That's what I did last time. I bought a case.
It's hard to find death. I don't know where, no matter where you live.
Yeah, well, and they had it in they've got it in the brush on, but the paint folks at Home Depot were telling me that they're having a real hard time getting any aerosols in right now, not just Deft lacquer, but they're really having a hard time getting aerosols in, and I don't know what's going on, but
Well, I know that Home Depot tried to lowball Minwax, and they had an argument with Minwax about their prices, so they no longer carry Minwax products.
correct.
Really?
So yeah.
Yeah.
They replaced it with the Verathane stuff,
Verathane
which
brand.
is pretty good. I mean, that's pretty good. I've used both their lacquer and their pre-cat lacquer, and they're both pretty good. But it's still, I prefer the Deft. I'm with you, man.
Yeah, me too. I've tried Minwax lacquer. I've not tried Verathane lacquer. They don't have any of that at my Home Depot.
Have you tried Rust-Oleum?
I have tried Rust-Oleum lacquer. I don't like it. I don't like Minwax. Minwax isn't terrible, but it's not Deft. And I don't like Rust-Oleum. I don't know. I don't remember why.
It goes on too wet and too thick for me.
There was something that I
Thick.
wasn't
I
getting
like
good.
the thickness.
Yeah, I wasn't getting a good finish with Rust-Oleum, and I wasn't happy with it. The Deft I can control the way I want to, and if I wasn't so lazy, I'd just take the brush and stuff and put it in my airbrush. But I'm too lazy to have to clean it up.
Yeah, that's a lot of work. I tried that. That's
It
a lot
is-
of work.
it
I'm
is a
with
lot
you,
of
Billy.
work.
They sell it
is.
in aerosol. Why not do that?
Yeah, it's a lot of work. I don't like doing that.
And Billy, read the can for Deft that says don't spray.
I know, but you can do it anyway.
Oh, I know. I've been spraying Deft, both the sanding sealer and the finish for years.
Yeah,
And-
Well, you have to cut it. I mean, you cut it with with
lacquer thinner.
acetone or
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah,
I use lacquer thinner.
lacquer thinner. That's what I cut it with.
But yeah, it works well in an airbrush. It works well in an HVLP gun as well. But you got to use so much lacquer thinner to get it all cleaned up afterwards. I don't know that it, like I said, I'm just lazy and I don't like
The
having to go
aerosol
through
cans
all
are
that.
easy. They're easy. I'm with you,
Yep.
Billy. Yeah.
Well, I could say if you try the Ace brand, it works nice, but you can't get to the Ace.
Well, if I'm going to go to Ace, I'm going to get Def.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we could thank the big box stores, several of them, for us all having less Ace Hardware stores. I don't even know if they
Yeah.
have True Value
Well,
anymore.
I used to get my Deft at Lowe's. They don't carry it at all anymore. And so I found I could get it at Home Depot. And the only problem is they're not getting it in stock. So I don't know what, I guess I'm just going to have to make a road trip or
friend
do
of
a
mine-
Google search and bite the bullet and pay for some shipping.
Billy,
A
do you
friend of
like
mine used to
do
be-
you like the gloss or the semi, or what do you like to spray?
I use both. It depends on what I'm doing, Matt. I like for this thing when I did that. Some things I really want to shine. I want it to just knock your socks off. And for other things, I want it to be a little more subtle, like my my segmented vase that's back behind me. I believe it is semi-gloss deft. So it just depends on what I'm turning and what I want it to look like. Sometimes I want it to, like I said, to knock your socks off, and other times I want it to be a little more subtle. I also will shoot a satin deft when I can find it. That's hard to find too. But more often than not, if I'm going to go for a satin finish, I'll just use Howard Feed and Wax.
Hey, Billy,
Yes, sir.
I'm looking, Amazon's got it.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh. I can get it at, I haven't bought any from Amazon, Ronnie, because the last time I looked at Amazon, it was 10 something a can shipped. And when Lowe's has, when Home Depot has it, it's $6.97. I'm cheap.
Frugal, frugal, frugal. Not
We're
cheap,
turning
frugal.
not cheap.
My wife says, she said, I don't know what happened to you. You used to not have a problem spending money at all. And she said, now that you've gotten older, she said, you're so tight you squeak when you walk.
The problem is most of the time wives tell the truth.
I said it's probably the Scott in me.
There you go. There you go.
All right, Brenda, let's continue on with gallery tonight.
All right, let's go to Randall Smith.
Randall.
Randall.
Hi, Randy.
How's everybody doing tonight?
What you been making?
This is a what is it? Okay.
Oh boy, I love this.
This has nothing to do with a nut. Okay. Here's what it is.
Nuts holding it.
It has no threads in the middle. It has threads on this side, on the outside, and it has a taper here. And it only has a limited application to wood turning. You do not use this on a lathe. Okay. Anybody have any?
Do you know the answer, Randall?
Yes.
It's a threaded coupler.
Good one, but no. Here's what it is.
Silver plated muffler bearing?
What it is.
I think it's Knippelin pin.
Onto a into a vise. And then this is a chuck with an ER32 collet in it.
All right, it's a collet holder.
And you put that on there. You
So it's
stick something in there and you clamp it this way onto a vise, or you can use it with a routing table to make fluted turnings.
Got it. So it'll hold your piece. It'll hold a chuck or hold your piece.
Right. And you run it through and then you turn it and run it through again. and then you turn it again. You do that 6 times. I also have one of these that has 4 sides on it, and I have seen them with 3 sides on it. But this is useful for making flutes on spindle work.
Wow. Okay.
That's pretty handy if you've already got
Interesting.
an ER32 collet, Chuck, isn't it?
Yes.
Bring that in for show and tell on the 14th, Randy.
Okay, I will.
All right. Well, thanks, Randall. Let's see if we can find Dave Kingsley.
I'm here.
Dave, where you at?
I'm here. All the way in
Oh,
Lake
there he
New York.
is.
There I am.
All right. What you got?
I didn't get a lot of shop time this week, but I did do a little walnut plate.
Beautiful.
Oh, very nice.
And what I was concentrating on was making my edges all nice and crisp,
Yeah.
and
Nice
as well
job.
as a new finishing technique, because what I had been doing was sanding with an oil, and I saw somewhere that would pack the dust into the pores in the wood and yada yada yada. But I decided to try it with just straight sanding, and then see what I got, because all it has on it is oil.
Steve, how'd you get that edge so sharp? Tell me.
This?
Yeah.
Carefully.
Did you sand it?
Is that what you wanted to know, Eddie?
What I did is I cut it from the outside.
Ah.
Yeah. I didn't do all the shaping from out in, but I did that first cut from the outside just to get it.
And
And
if
the
it's
same
real
same on the
slice-
bottom.
If it was real slice, that's the kind of finish you get, huh?
I'll tell you from experience, you got to be careful with edges like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it isn't sharp enough to cut yet.
It's sharp enough to cut me.
Maybe. But I didn't have any problems there. No band-aids.
Good job.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
But that's all I really had time for this week. It's been an interesting week.
Thank you, sir. Very much appreciated.
Nice
That's
job.
really pretty.
I have one
Thank you.
question for you. Have you got that grandbaby in yet?
August.
August, okay.
August. Yes. I'm getting real excited about that.
Is that your first?
That's my first. I was beginning to
Okay.
wonder it would ever happen, but because he's
It's
36.
happening.
So yeah.
Well,
I can't
good.
wait.
Good.
Thank
Hey,
you,
let's
Dave.
see what Doug Miller's got.
All right, Doug. In fact, Doug, that's great. We're going to go to Doug for all the reasons it's nice. But Doug is going to show us something that he turned this week. He's got a great demonstration under Wood Spun Round on YouTube. I'm talking really great demonstration. In fact, Doug, I'd show you my notes. I was planning on doing that for a demo here in the meeting. Thank you for stealing my fire. But
Sorry.
that's right. But we're talking to Doug in a few minutes. We're going to have Billy Dillard out of Houma, Louisiana, turn a pen for us. And it looks like it's a Paralam type product. And we're looking forward to doing that tonight. So stick around. It's not just gallery and BS. We have a demonstration coming up. But in the meantime, Doug, what do you got?
Okay. 2 or 3 weeks ago, I shared with you guys 10 pins that I did that I sent all to Doug Rowe, and he was all excited about them. That's part of this 22 pin challenge that we've had. This week, after my burn, actually before and after my burn, I was able to finish that 22, got all 22 of them done. This is an example of 3 of them that I did this to fill the last 12. This is a black Stratus pen, click pen. So it's a silent click. It's first one I put together and clicked it. I was surprised at it. But anyway, that's with oak, and I did one with some maple just to finish out the 3. And then the other 9 are all Mesa kits. These are all the twist, the typical Mesas. I've got had six in gold and three in silver or chrome. But anyway, they're all ready to go. So I'll get those packaged up later tonight and send them out in tomorrow's mail to one of our guys. I'm not sure who I'm going to send them to. In fact, I guess that's a question I could ask: is which branch of service do we need to send them to the most right now?
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I'm gonna step in here now. The Marines need some pins.
Listen to him. I figured he'd jump in there, Bill, Doug. I really thought so.
Yeah, I thought so too. I did too.
Hey,
Well, the
hey,
Marines
you
do
gotta, you gotta jump
land
on it when
first.
you can.
I was thinking about the Navy, really.
That's Jim.
Yeah.
Well, I always heard that the Marines land first.
Okay, there you go. Boy, I tell you what, this could be a fight we shouldn't have. You know that?
Yeah, never mind. I'll just
Go ahead,
pick one
stir the
randomly.
pot there just a little bit, Doug. You can get him
Army,
going.
say, give it.
Wait a minute. Susan, what'd you say?
I said from someone that was in the Army, I'm telling you to give it to the Marines. Because they always lead first, and then the Army comes in after them.
Yep. Marines, first in, last out. And that's the way they like it.
How about
Yeah.
the Air Force? They're usually overhead before the Marines.
Oh, we're driving a bus, one of the two. I was Air Force, you know. But I was Air Force. I was Air Force ammo. I'm still ammo. And without us, it's just one ugly airline. They don't have the ammo. I got in so much trouble over that joke when I was on duty. That and I had a notebook called Uncle Sam's Flying Circus that I'd use. I had a whole lot of people with stuff on their shoulders that didn't like that. All right, we're going to do a demonstration, as I said, on pens tonight. We're going to continue gallery for a few minutes. And we are in our chat. You see chat there. Our chat is, I got to explain this, our chat is kind of open ground. Because we collect the events happening worldwide for wood turners, that's pay-per-view, free club meetings, whatever, even this Zoom type meeting, we handle it on our website, worldwidewoodturners.org, and we collect those events. That goes in chat. That's where you have to put it if you like us to use it. No charge, no obligations, no commitments. We don't want to say your car warranty or anything like that. Just want to know what your event is. But the same thing goes with other items we put on chat. If you want to be part of our contact list, we don't have a membership list because to us, everybody in the world can be a member. If you want to be if you'd like to be part of our contact list, put the information you choose to share with the membership in our chat. I can put Eddie Castellan at eddiecastellan.com, my phone number, my address, and all that. It's out there. It'll be in part of this chat. Our webmaster, our master webmaster, David Rhodes, takes the information off of chat, puts it in our contact list, and makes it available for our members to receive. If you'd like to get a copy of that list, no restrictions, not commercial, you go to our website under contact, there's a place to get member list. And you go there and you put in the information, follow the directions exactly as it says. The password or the subject is Captain, Captain. David picked that. And if it goes in, automatically you will be emailed the current list. Now, in terms of people saying, if that list is out there, can't a robot get it and copy? The list does not come in live. The list comes in as a PDF. So you'd have to seek out the email in the grouping, because it's not in columns, and copy it and paste it into your mail, or get their phone number and click it into phone. So that's what happens on our chat. One more item. We would like to know what type and kind, brand, size, whatever lathe that you use. Lathes as somebody just said, I got more than one lathe. Tell us what you use. Put it in chat. And we're not going to, it only has an informational thing. We have folks saying what to buy, what do you have, what do you use? And honestly, David Swain, who's a member of this club, David has shown us work, tons of work. He built his lathe. David built, you've seen it. David built that lathe, and it's not a big welding project. It's all wood project, 90% wood project. So whatever you're turning, we want to know about it. Brenda, we're going back to go to gallery right now. Everybody's welcome. There's no priorities. Put it in chat. I have something to show. Brenda will call on you. When Brenda introduces you, start talking.
Let's go to Gordon G. Gordon, you got something to show tonight?
Is that me, I guess?
I don't know. I couldn't find a Gordon G, so.
I'm a Gordon K, so that's close enough.
Yeah. All right, you got something to show. You're up then.
Very good. I finally got back a chance to turn some things other than pins. I had some hard cherries sitting around the shop. And I thought it was kind of pretty. So I went ahead and made a bowl out of that.
Ooh, look at that.
Oh, wow.
Well, I like contrast. And this has a nice convex shape to it. So I thought maybe concave needs to go with it. So I added a top.
Oh, like
gorgeous. Pull it back to you a little bit.
Oh man, that is beautiful.
That's
The
nice.
top
That
is
is gorgeous.
top
Can
is
you pull it back a little
napple
Pull it back closer
top
to
is
you.
narrow wood from I think it's Brazil, and then
Hey,
the
Gordon,
yes.
there you go. Can pull it back towards you a little bit. There we go.
There you
Oh
go.
yeah.
Oh, man.
But
Is that
the finial was going to be about that much taller, but
Oh.
but I had a skew that didn't like it, so I figured I'd like it better this way. And
I'm glad those kinds of things never happen when I'm turning finials.
Ain't that the
but
fact?
anyway, I think it came out pretty nice.
Oh, man.
The ball is just as incredible.
That's lovely.
It's about a 9-inch wide by about 8 inches tall, and the finish on it is General Finishes wood bowl finish.
Oh, it's
And,
beautiful.
Excellent.
Wow. Can you pull the top off of that again? Back it up a little bit and show us the top, the inside and the bottom again?
Okay, there's the inside.
Yes.
There.
Wow. Wow.
Jeez, that's pretty.
Man.
But it's a nice grain to it. It's got a couple of spots that are not real good, but
Yes,
there's
it is.
a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
character to it. And that's what I like about it.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
that lid
Shakes her
fits,
socks on a rooster, I'm telling you.
lid fits real nice, and I'm pretty happy with it.
Oh,
I would be too.
Absolutely.
It's gorgeous.
Nice.
Oh, we see some
All
gorgeous.
right, we have no more gallery. We're just going to keep looking at this one, okay?
Thank you. So anyway, thanks for looking.
I like that.
I'm glad to get around back to bowls instead of pins.
Thank you,
Sweet.
Gordon.
Thank you.
And Gordon's club is is one of the founding clubs of SWAT, Southwest Association of Turners, and that's held in Waco, Texas. Registration is currently open, and I'm going to give you a personal opinion on this one. It's the best wood turning symposium in the world.
Yeah,
Totally
amen.
agree with you.
If you want to go hang out with some really good friends and tell some really good lies about wood turning, that's where to go.
Top of the line lies, huh?
Yeah, I'm talking friends. It's no restrictions here. You can't talk to the demonstrator before the. No, everybody's a friend, and you see there's a great sales floor, and there's people wanting to talk to you and show you things all over the place. And I've been to the uppity meetings, and I don't like it. I've been there for about the last dozen years or so, and I missed the one 3 years ago. I don't plan on missing another one. I'm going to find a ride to Waco. But check it out. SWAP Give me that email. I mean that website, Gordon. I'm going to mess it up.
Southwest Association of Turners.
All right, just Southwest.
Just look up them. The website has, I don't know if they're net or org. I'd have to look.
It's
Okay.
.org.
Is it org? Okay. Thanks, Jim.
And that's the place to find out information on world's greatest wood turning symposium.
It's going to be a good one this year. It's going to be a good one this year after being short a year, a couple of years ago, and last year was a good one, but we didn't have the usual turnout. This year it's going to be good.
Oh, and I have been to a lot of these gatherings. When I went to this one, the first thing I noticed was lunch. Look at the size of me. I wouldn't miss lunch. But I didn't have to go out and buy a $7 hot dog and a $3 Coke and stuff like that. Part of the package. And it was awesome. And then there's not a critique in the place. There's a great gallery. And I don't think anybody, this is in Texas now, I don't think anybody's got the I want to say balls, but nobody's got the gumption to go in and talk about somebody else's work. It's all gorgeous. Oh, I would practically wear out my digital camera because I'm going to go every table and every piece because it's all mined. He did that, but look what he did and how he twisted and how he turned it, how he held it, how he finished it. Like Billy said, sometimes my pieces have to flash, and sometimes they just got to look like really great wood. You'll see that. And boy, is that a learning experience as to what would happen if I changed the finish on these pieces. And you only know it by seeing it.
One comment, quick comment on SWAT. Alamo Word Turners is sponsoring the theater, which has all pen demonstrations this year, and we will be there videotaping and sound and all that. But it's a great theater, a great place to sit and watch because they've got theater seats instead of nice hard chairs. So come see us in the theater.
Is that around on the front of the building?
It's way off the one corner by the city council building.
Yeah, I remember a guy telling me when you go that way, when you think you went too far, you're almost there.
That's it.
Great program. A lot of friends. I missed my friends last year. All right, let's go back to gallery right now. Brenda.
Let's go to Bob Grinstead.
Bob,
where you at?
Okay, Bob doesn't talk.
I'm seeing his name, but I'm not finding. It's not giving me. It's not giving me an option to highlight him.
Oh, there's Bob Moffett.
There's Bob Moffett. I'm looking for Bob Grinstead. Sorry, I don't know how to say it.
I don't see him on the list right now.
Yeah, I just had him on the list.
He may have crashed.
When I clicked on his name, though, it didn't give me the option to highlight him.
All right.
No, maybe he's disconnected for some reason.
All right.
Yeah, he disappeared.
All right, let's go to.
He's muted and camera turned off.
Did you find him, Doug?
His name, he's still on the list, but yeah, he's muted.
He's muted because his camera turned off, yeah.
He may have stepped away.
Let's go to Roger Woolman. Woolham.
Talk to us, Roger.
Hello, all.
Roger.
This is a piece
There
that
he is. There he is. I see him. There he is. Look at that.
Can't see it.
Yeah.
You're not seeing it? I can see him.
He's not spotlighted, Brenda.
Spotlighted yet.
Not spot. Okay, let's try. There we go. How about that?
Nope, just you.
Really?
There we go.
Yes. Okay.
We thought he left town. Ooh.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
Oh, I can see a happy face in there.
Look at
Oh,
that.
don't get her started.
Happy face in the side of the bowl.
Does that count as having the pith in the bowl?
What's that?
Does that count as having the pith in?
Actually, that's plywood.
Yeah, I know. I'm teasing.
That is
I just lucked
awesome.
out that it turned out that way.
Very nice.
Beautiful.
Not on the outside.
That's
yeah.
so cool.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, wow.
That's
How
cool.
did that happen? Man, that is gorgeous.
Intelligent
Another half
design.
just like that.
I thought it was something different, so thought I would show
Another
it.
half just like it.
Do you have
The
another?
other half is a little different, but
Mm.
it's in Michigan.
Oh, ah,
Not
That
always.
That's
bad.
beautiful.
to me.
I
I
love
like
that.
that.
Beautiful
Nice work.
Very
Roger.
nice.
Beautiful.
All right, thank
work.
you.
I love the faith
Roger.
vest.
Boy, look at that. The combination of materials. I don't want to say woods. I want to say materials. And we see that sometimes with laminates with copper, brass, aluminum, and all that. But throwing the plywood with regular wood is, I want to say, rather unique. One more before we go to our demonstration is Billy Dillard out of Houma, Louisiana. He'll be with us in just a minute. Brendan, we have one more gallery.
How about this guy?
Hey,
Uh-oh.
how's everybody doing?
Hi, Bob.
A couple of natural edge pieces I did of some ash.
Ooh, very nice.
What do you see in there, Brenda?
Well,
Oh,
I thought it looked like an owl at first, but then
Like a deer.
No, that's
or moose.
Sauron, man.
That's
That's,
an elk.
Sauron. That's
Elk.
Sauron.
That look like the back end of an owl?
no, that looks more
Oh,
like the
an owl
owl.
there.
There, yes.
Sheep.
See?
A sheep or a lamb? The lamb.
On the other side,
Jackalope.
the horse.
That was more.
That's Rodolph.
Y'all do know you're scaring off the new members. Y'all do know that, right?
That
Very
is
nice,
all
Bob. What's the wood on that?
Well, the
Ash?
bark stayed on there good,
Okay.
didn't it?
Yes, ash.
Very nice.
That's really
I
pretty.
like- I like that.
The bark is nice and thick.
Platter that did.
Oh, there's a Bob piece.
Yep. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Beautiful.
I love the texturing. Is that texturing in the bottom of that?
I used a
Yeah.
quarter-inch carbon burr to do that.
That's really nice.
It's on your paint over top of it.
Very nice.
What's
Looks
the
good.
back? The bottom. What's the? You did that
Back
with
is the same texture.
and that doesn't have a flat spot. So, is that a Willie Walker?
Willie Walker boat.
Yeah. Okay. It kind of rolls around a little bit.
You hang it on the wall.
That is nice.
Hang it on the wall and try to figure out which way it goes.
There you go.
I want to see how you put the ball.
Yeah, that's a Bob bowl.
This
That's
is,
all I've got.
for those that don't know, this is Birdhouse Bob. He's our birdhouse.
We love him.
You could
He's our
use this
birdhouse
for a
authority.
bath.
I was looking for where the perch goes on that, but it
You
just
got
didn't
those
seem to
steps.
fit.
You got steps for the bird bath.
Ah, okay.
There you go.
Birds are going to have a psychedelic overload. That's right.
So, and for members who are just joining us or new members and you don't understand, we have fun with everybody, not abusive to anybody. Bob's done some awesome birdhouses. They're in this month's newsletter, which is on Facebook. And I'm working on getting it to YouTube. Maybe tomorrow because I can't go anywhere and do anything. But we have a lot of fun with this. And we talk about not getting Brenda started. Brenda is one of our original members. And there's no hierarchy here. But Brenda helps us like a lot of other members do. But Brenda will see the grain in a piece and immediately come up with something that looks like a deer, owl, dolphins, all kinds of stuff. Don't be scared off. whatever you see is okay with us. And if it's really, really weird, share your medication. But we're gonna go.
Bring me some.
We're gonna go on that
Some of that
demonstration.
medication.
You had enough, Brenda.
Oh,
What
goodness.
is your medication, Brenda?
I ain't telling. And I ain't sharing either.
In fact, Brenda is the official leader of our Band-Aid brigade, and I'm proud that today I'm in a parade.
Yeah.
All right, Brenda is too, and Billy Burt's in there.
Somebody else I seen in the chat too. Who was that? Somebody else joined today too.
Gary Bobenhausen.
Yeah.
Gary.
What'd you do, Gary?
Yeah, I had a 10-inch bowl break out of my mortise, and it did a good job on my arm. Went right across my arm.
Yeah,
well, that's
it
one to
got
be
you.
proud of there.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Only a few other kind words.
I got one question for you though.
Yeah.
Were you able to save the piece?
Yes.
Awesome.
That's really all that matters. Yes.
Exactly. Yes. The Band-Aid was worth it then.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna pop that. We're gonna pop over to Houma, Louisiana, and that's where we find Billy Dillard. And Billy's at his lake tonight. Billy's going to do a demonstration for us. Billy, what the heck is that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just covering up what we were doing.
Oh, okay, Billy. Let me say this straight up. I forget about it a lot of times, folks. I'm going to mute the entire membership, and what that means is right now I'm going to kill all background sounds and all chit chat. But I don't want to eliminate questions about the turning or questions to the turner. That's wide open. Just press whatever you have to do to unmute yourself and do so. Now, keep in mind that this is his demonstration. He's performing it the way he wishes to perform it. In his mind's eye, this is the right way. Please do not contradict his talent, his techniques, critique his work. That is not fair. Don't say, I'd like to do that, but. Remember, we have a no but policy. All right? So right now, I'm going to mute the entire audience or membership, and Billy's going to have to unmute himself in order to be part of the meeting. Billy, you're back. You're ready. Let's go.
Okay.
Turn some wood.
All right. Can you hear me? Everybody
Gotcha.
can hear
Turn
me?
some wood.
All right. Let's start off by reiterating what Eddie said. I am self-taught. So you may see some things that I wouldn't say unsafe, but maybe unconventional. I'm left-handed, so I turn left-handed and right-handed. This is about the best video setup that I could come up with. All right. To end all that, let's talk about pins. I've never done a demo before, so I'm going to try to do a demo that's very simple. I'm thinking maybe a slimline pin would be our choice. And to start out, I'd like to speak maybe like to someone that's never turned a pin. You're going to start out with a pin blank, something similar to this piece of wood and much longer. And you'll drill the appropriate size hole through this, and you will glue what they call a barrel, brass barrel inside of it. And a lot of them do not come scuffed up already. You're going to have to scuff them up with some sandpaper, and you're going to glue them in. Now, the glue of choice is epoxy. Now, you'll see people talk about using super glue, and that's all great. I mean, you're taking chances, but epoxy overnight is your glue of choice. And if you're doing a pin that's going to have a translucent type material, resin or something, that you're going to have to make sure that you either paint this tube. And what I've started doing is I add a Luminolite pigment to my epoxy. So if I'm doing a lighter and I want this brass tube to be white, I'll add white to my epoxy. So when I glue it in, it's going to coat the tube and the resin, and I'll have a bright base for the colors to pop off of. Of course, you could do black the same way, but that's just a little trick that I learned
and I don't have to worry about painting or using maybe a Sharpie to kill this brass color. But tonight we're going to do I can't think of what it's called right now. This type of material. It's a laminate. Drew a blank. Spectra ply. I'm not even sure if this is Spectra ply, but it is a derivative of it. I've had it for a long time. It's a very hard wood, so it will dull your tools almost immediately. Let me go down my little checklist and make sure I'm not missing anything. You're gonna, after you drill this hole in here, you're gonna blow it out with some air, and you're gonna glue it in, and you're gonna glue it overnight, and preferably epoxy. And then we're going to turn it to a desired shape. And what I like to do with a slimline pen is I like to make it something more than a basic pen. So that's what we're going to do tonight. And I'm going to start out, and I like to use a bowl gouge to do my rough cuts. There's a lot of people that'll use different kinds of tools, but I prefer the bowl gouge with a real swept angle on it, which allows me to use it in different configurations. And you're going to see me do it left-handed and right-handed. But let's get started. And I'm going to try not to run my vacuum system. We're not going to do any sanding tonight. I'm going to have I've already turned one through, and I've sanded it to 800. So we're good to go there. So that will keep this from being too long. And here we go with the left-handed roughing.
Speed, Billy?
Running about 2100. You can run much faster if you wanted to. Spectra ply is a little different. Once you get it round, everything progresses much better. Just trying to take off the edges. Boy, not running that vacuum makes a mess. And we're going to bring the top end of this pen down considerably because that's where our pocket clip's going to be. And you're going to see, I'm going to do I wouldn't say it's, I didn't copy it from anyone. I started making these extra little nibs on the pens, and I noticed after I was doing it that someone else was doing it. So I'm not sure if I did it first or they did it first. I really don't care. But I saw a lot of pens that have this extra little nib on there. It allows you to hold the pen and not have to hold a tight grip on it. That'll help you, especially when you get older, when you get arthritis in your hands. All right, let's see if I think we're getting pretty close to round here. Yeah. All right, we're going to bring this go ahead and bring the top of the pen down. And if somebody's going to ask what's the diameter, I've done enough of these that I just kind of look at it and know that it looks too fat or it looks too thick. There's not going to be nothing special on the top of this pen. It's going to be just a straight barrel. You can't really do much with it, or I haven't figured out much that you can do with the top of the pen other than just round the edges. I do all the extra artsy to the bottom. So we'll go ahead and get this top squared away. I feel like I'm running a race, but I know I shouldn't be.
Don't, Billy, don't know.
I know. I'm just saying I feel like I do.
If you get out of breath, we'll stop, okay?
I don't speak very well.
You're doing excellent.
I ramble. All right, we're gonna leave that alone now, and we're gonna work on our shape down here. This is where everything can really go south. You can blow my plan can get blown right out of the water when I mess up the first cut here. This is the
nice slicing cut. Wow.
That's why I like the bowl gouge. I'm able to control it a little bit.
Yes, look at the shine on that thing already.
Yeah, it's because his tool's not very sharp.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Be nice, Billy. Be nice.
Like I said, I do.
That was
I
sarcasm.
switch. I know I switch back and forth, left-handed, right-handed. That's why people ask me to teach them, and I said, "Man, I can't teach you." I said, "You're gonna look at me and not be able to figure out what I'm doing."
Billy, I wouldn't make that comment until he blows it up. That's coming ahead.
Well, no, I said that was sarcasm. You can tell because it's a very sharp tool because of the shine that he's getting on that cut.
That's a
Exactly.
magnificent slice.
Usually, what I normally do is get my dimension down, and I kind of got ahead of myself a little bit, but you don't want it to be too fat. And this is where this time of the day I don't have enough light. It don't seem like. All right, let's take a look and see what we got. What we're trying to accomplish is we're trying to make a nib. Let me show you what it's going to look like when we finish. This is what we're trying to come up with. Trying to come up with a pen that we can hold, has a support, so when we're writing, that it will just ride right in our hand. That's our objective. All right. I'm going to use a tool, but I'm not going to use it the right way.
What do you mean? I've seen Cindy Droza do this a couple of times.
I know. I just,
Always remember, folks, the names they give those tools, it's just somebody in marketing doing it. They're all multi-purpose, all of them.
The negative rake scraper.
Yep. Sometimes it's a skew. Sometimes it's a negative rake scraper.
Yep.
Yep. Just like just now, he's using his bow gouge for a scraper for a couple of cuts. Shear scraper. That's nice.
all right. We need to work on this little Billy Burt sharp edge right here. And normally what I do is I hit that with paper. What I'll do is I'll check it. And we are down completely to our bushings, which is what they usually tell you to do with pins. And this is at the point where I would refine the shape, maybe a little skinnier here, but that's all. Everybody that picks one up, it fits their hand, and they're going to pick up 3 or 4 of them before. But this is the point where I would start my sand. I would run from 200, and I'm going to use Parfex tonight. So I would run from 200 up to about 800. And normally I'd put a sealer on it. But with the Parfex, it's anybody's guess what's the correct thing to do. The 3460 Parfex is different than the 3408. They're wanting to get to stay on the surface more than they want it to go in. So that's what we're going to work towards. So this is where we're going to switch over and go to our pin that has been sanded to 800. And I'm using a pin mandrel, old school. I mean, they make a bunch of different new ones and everything. I wanted to use this one just to show you that this would be your entry level pin mandrel and very inexpensive. So you're not going to spend a lot of money. So if you really want to make a pin, you can do it without spending a lot of money. This piece is very inexpensive, but it is easy to bend. So if it gets bent, you would turn it on with it loose like this, and you're probably going to see. I'm going to turn it on here on a low speed. You can see it's a little bit out of round. You would actually take that and tap that with a hammer, a slight tap on it until you get that balanced. That would be your adjustment for it, but it's fairly decent. What I've got here is some homemade bushings. These will keep our super glue finish from gluing us to our tool.
Billy, your mandrel saver helps keep that in place too, right?
My mandrel saver. You lost me.
That gizmo you have on your tailstock that's got a
Oh, my
hole.
tailstock. I forgot to mention that. I'm sorry. Yeah. Normally you would use, standard tailstock and catch the pin, like this. Okay. But I've got this one that slides over, which I really like, and it doesn't hurt my elbow one bit.
And that mandrel saver also keeps you from getting any eccentricity in your turnings. It keeps them nice and concentric.
Yeah, you don't want to over tighten it. That's where a lot of people go wrong. They think they think they need to keep tightening it, and you really don't want to tighten it any tighter than you need to keep it from not spinning. That's it. All right. I was fixing to ask how we're doing on time, but I think I've only spent about 10 minutes, so I think we're doing
You're
all right.
okay, bud.
All right. Can everybody see? That's about as good a video as I can get.
Is that what's called the Lathe diaper? I was told by Ronnie we can't call him that anymore. I have a Lathe diaper.
I think it's just a couple of things. It keeps whatever I drop from going to the floor.
That's the handy part. And then whatever you drip.
I don't know what speed everybody runs at when they put their glue on, but I try to run at a fairly slow speed. And I know Brenda's really good at getting this on her fingers.
Yes, I cannot use that stuff without getting it all over my fingers.
And that's Parfix 3408.
No, this is the 3460, which is Mark Soleil says that this is the one that's preferred for pins.
Okay.
He says it's a little bit thicker viscosity. And I have used it very, very little on pins. So you're fixing to find out if
I love it.
works well or not. We'll find out.
It doesn't stick. It doesn't stick to the bushings that you have beside it.
Yeah, those are actually some. Oh God, what do they call it? HDPME. I can't think of what it's called right now.
HDPE.
Yeah, I actually I bought some years ago, and then I made some of my own because a little better.
You can buy Dillard rods and make your own. It's basically the same thing.
Delrin's available through Amazon, folks. And see that Parfix, somebody throw it in chat because I don't have it in front of me. Mark Soleil, one of our members and a professional turner, instructor, etc. He's one of the marketing sources for that 3408. And if you have questions on it, give him a call and ask him about it. 3460. I'm sorry, Billy. Everybody
okay.
can talk about 3408, including me.
I love 3408. The only reason I got this is the first order I got from Mark. He asked me, did I want some for pins? And he sent me some with it. And I have failed to use it because of 3408. I like and I understand it better, and I'm more consistent with it. But I do understand that this needs to set on the surface more for pins. I used to do conventional super glue pins, and I'd put about 8 or 10 coats of super glue, And I'm thinking we're going to shoot for about 3 here because you can already see it is on the surface.
Remember, we have a couple of turners that completely abandon other finishes for for the 3408. Completely abandon them. Ease of use, end product. Billy's hit a couple of points where sometimes sealer will be necessary and sometimes it's not. And if you're in speed turning, this is a product for you. I say speed turning. I'm talking folks who have got goals to turn out so many pieces, etc.
Starting to get a little build up on it. I'm going to put one more coat on it and we'll call it good.
How dense does that? You have 3 coats on, I believe. How dense does it become to buff out?
I don't know. We're fixing to find out. Like I said, this is about the first time that I've used it in this fashion. I've used it in some other, but I only put like a single coat. I didn't put near as much, and I went with a thinner application with it. I thought I was doing the same process that I would be doing with the 3408. 3408, they want you to wipe it off. When you're doing a pen, you don't want to wipe it off. You want to let it stay on the surface. So that's why I'm treating this one more like a conventional super glue finish. I'm wanting it to be on the surface. So we're going to see, because I know that the 3408, you get it and you wipe off the excess, and it looks like you have nothing until you start buffing it. When you start buffing it, it just pops. All right. It's amazing. It's how fast this stuff dries.
Look how shiny that tape that is, Billy.
Yeah, it's got a little. Like I said, we'll see how it works. I really wanted to take everybody through all the little things that people don't understand about the pens. It's anybody can do a pen, but the little secrets of the pen are getting the finish and getting the edges. So what I've got here is a piece of sandpaper that I have glued down to a fairly piece of flat surface. And what I'll do is I'll take this edge and I'll make it as flat as possible, because when you put these pens together, you want the brass to be supporting the pen when you press it together. And I might be jumping the gun a little bit. I don't think this finish is quite ready. Yeah, our finish is not hard yet. Usually it's hard this quick, but this is not. So maybe I put too much on. We'll find out. We definitely don't want to bump it until it's ready. That's for sure. Okay. Try to do everything where everybody can see. And this is something that most people are not going to have, and I just have it from a long time ago. It's no different than using the Beal buffer or any other buffer. I don't have white diamonds on here. I have the blue, and I don't know what it's called, but I don't think it's quite as aggressive as the white diamonds is. We'll give it a hit here, and we'll find out right quick whether it's cured enough to buff. Usually by this time it should be ready, but let's see what we got. Does a really good job on your fingernails. If anybody can see, I may be out of camera.
No, it looks good. See, Brenda can't do that to ruin a nail polish. Oh, now, well, I gotta move something.
I'd say it looks pretty good. You can see a little imperfections here that I could probably buff out.
That is pretty.
It's only as good as my eyesight. That buffed right out.
Your eyesight's fine. It looks great.
I got
Yes, it
I got
does.
I got magnifiers on, so if it passes my magnifiers, then I know it's good.
Heck yeah.
I really like doing acrylic pens. I figured I would do something that maybe the entry level person that's never done a pen before to get into easy. And these pen kits are anywhere from, I think you can still get them for $3 a kit up to about 12 for a slim line.
If you buy them in bulk, you can get them for about $1.90.
Yeah, depending on the whatever finish you want on it. Yeah. Quite get the shine on this one as I did on the other one. I don't think I let it cure off. Oh, it's coming.
Billy, do you have a little wax on that right hand buffer?
No, it's just I'm sorry, I haven't been. It's just a straight, clean buffing wheel.
Your grinder is moving out of the screen.
Yeah, I know. I'm putting a little extra pressure. I wish I had all the fancy cameras you guys got. I don't have all that. That was one thing that was bugging me more about doing the demo than the actual demo was not having what I needed. And I hope you guys can hear me. I don't know how the audio is.
Yeah, I can hear you good. And that was my same issue too. I wanted to do a pen demo too, but with proper cameras, I didn't feel I was able to do it justice.
All right, let's quit while we're ahead here.
Kat, this would be a good time to mention all you need is an iPhone, and this is a great demo.
Yeah. Can I mention at this point right now, I have a problem when I do pens, and can I share my?
Sure. Fixing to make a movement with some equipment. So speak.
Well, I was just thinking with the buffing system there, I use the bigger buffing wheels, the 8 or whatever.
I do most of the time too. I just did that because I wanted to have everything right here where everybody can see what.
Right. When I do them, a lot of times that wheel will pull the pen out of my hand.
Yes.
It's flying around, right? So to solve that problem, when I do the buffing, I will put a screwdriver inside the pen blank to hold it.
For my bigger pens that I do, I've actually made a dowel that I use.
There you go. Yeah.
I don't buff
gives you
from
more
the bottom
stability.
I buff from the top of the wheel. So it's coming back toward me and I hold it that way. It's on a stick, but I don't have a small one for this one. But we'll go ahead right quick and we'll press these in. Like I said, it's a slim line, so it's a very basic. Hoping everybody can see.
I love the way you routed a groove in there in order to hold your pen blanks.
Yes, I was going to say that too. I love that setup right there.
It's kind of different. You see how it turns out. You got to be careful and not make it too tall, or you will get so far away that people might not like it. And this to refine the shape, I've started out with some that were a little bigger, some that were a little smaller. I kind of trying to find that little spot where your hand just drops right in, because that's what you're looking for.
I think the comment was about the board you have your press mounted
Oh,
on.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I know that's what I was
Yeah,
thinking of
that is
anyway.
awesome.
I like that
I'm sorry.
idea.
I used to bring this. I used to bring it to craft fairs with me, so it made it where I couldn't, or no, I couldn't, but where I shouldn't be able to drop anything on the floor, because once you drop it on the floor,
Yes.
most likely you're never going to find it again.
It's gone if you drop it on the floor.
All right, you can see I stopped just short of my line. They have a line they want you to drop them in, and you go too far, it's hard to back it up without a punch.
Yes. Moving in a little at a time.
And
Like I
there's
said, I'm-
probably a dozen remedies for that, for when you put them together. I've seen at least a dozen different versions of it. Stops, etc. It's and
Try to keep it on.
new
So
members.
I like.
That looks good.
That's right.
I like that.
Nice.
All right.
New members, don't be afraid of the equipment. This could also be done with a squeeze clamp. Not like that little black and red things you get at Home Depot or wherever.
I'm trying. I did not keep my orientation, so I'm gonna have to try to figure it out. I think that's it right there. That's one thing I did not mention earlier to everyone, was that when you put your blanks and when you first cut them, you want to make a line so you know which way was which. Keep your grain match, or doing resin. I didn't mention that.
You can also use a bench vise in place of a pen press too.
Oh yeah, you could actually
couple.
use your tailstock on your lathe if you wanted to.
Just put a block on it.
Very nice.
Oh my God, I actually slid it on there and lined it up.
It's not your
Good
first
job.
one, is it?
That's not good. No, like I said, it could be buffed out a little more, but it turned out pretty good. I sell a lot of spectral wood. Everybody loves the colors, and but I really like doing resin pins. This is a resin blank that I cast myself. This is supposed to be Mardi Gras colors, but to do a demo with this, you would have resin string all over us. Okay. But my favorite pin is a neural nut pin, and that was one I was thinking about turning, but there's no you can't do anything with it. It's a straight turn. It's a very boring turn. This would be it here. It's it's African Babinga burl that I stabilized. Nice. Why I stabilized it? I guess because I could. The grain was probably so tight on it, it didn't need to be stabilized. But it makes it easier to work with when you're doing a pin.
Neural pens is beautiful when they're done.
I love a neural nut pen. They're the best seller. Men love those pens. Women like these pens. But yeah, it turned out pretty good. Like I said, this is I forgot how many coats we did. 3, maybe 4 coats.
I think it was 4.
Yeah, Billy, they Mark got me into the 3460 for my pens, but he also got me in 900 if I want a thicker coat, which I normally don't use, but I love the 3460. It is a thin, but it's a lot. It's a little thicker than the 3408.
Yeah, I see some spots on there that I could buff a little more. Didn't.
It's gorgeous though.
Yes.
But the concept's there. Yeah.
Yeah. I got to interject here. If you're watching this, you say, when can I get that kit? Billy is using a trim line or a slim line kit. And I bought them when I was doing tons of freedom pens years ago for $1.30 each. Now at $1.90 a piece. That pen, you're looking at that pen.
Austin.
I do believe you just froze.
Yeah, we lost it.
Yeah. Eddie, what are you
I know-
doing? Come
I
back,
know what he's trying.
Eddie.
I know what he's trying to say. He's trying to say that this pen is, you can sell this at a craft show and you can make a little money on it, and people don't feel like it's costing them too much.
Yeah, I do mine for $20 a piece.
Yep.
I turn a bunch of them.
Yep.
Like you said, people just pick them up, find the one they like.
Yeah.
I just put a pile of them in a pen pot.
I love doing the resin ones sell first. Believe it or not, anything shiny sells, and people love the wooden ones, but the resin ones sell first.
Well, that's a general rule I found at craft shows. Shiny sells. Doesn't matter what it is. The shinier, the better, and somebody's going to buy it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I said
that's
more of the gun pins. Look at
Boy, that's
the that thing.
Oh, the bolt action.
Yeah,
bolt action pens.
I
Yeah.
can't keep those.
Yeah.
The price is almost doubled on them too.
Yeah.
People love them.
Yeah.
I like to make them with deer antler.
Well, I haven't done that. I heard it stinks when you turn it though.
Oh,
It does.
Well, it stinks, and if you're working with antler, you should wear a respirator because it doesn't turn so much as it produces dust. And you do not want to breathe that in. It is rather not good for your lungs. So if you're working antler, wear a respirator because if you can smell it, you're breathing it in. So
Well, I was we were talking about that. I wanted to. I've been wanting to do a video shot from my shop, but this is my setup on my lathe. I have a box fan with an air conditioner type filter on my left shoulder, and then I have another fan that actually comes at me when I'm turning. So everything is getting pushed to my left and sucked, and then if I'm sanding, everything's going in my vacuum system. But that's what I use. It keeps everything moving. Of course, I have a window here, which is a no-no, but I have yet to break a glass. So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
It
You've
just
been
happened to
lucky.
be
Can
where
we
it's
see
at.
the rest of your shop? Can you give us a tour, maybe?
Not right now. The motorhome's
No?
in here. I can barely even.
Oh, that's right. The motorhome's in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody
I don't
else have any questions for Billy on these pins?
This is a comment for everybody. If y'all are going to do antler, let them age for a while. I've got some that are over a year old, and they don't smell when you work with them.
Somebody had told me that when you're cutting them, it doesn't smell as much as when you're sanding them.
Don't believe them.
Yeah.
Something to do with so it's hotter it gets, the more it smells.
Yes.
Yeah, and it smells roughly. You know how have you ever smelled hair burning hair?
Yep. Oh,
it's
never.
not quite as good of a smell as that. It's a little worse.
Think of when you go to the dentist and they're working on a tooth and you can smell that tooth that they're drilling.
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
That's what
Yeah.
that's what it reminded me of. Yes.
Yes, that too. The burning hair plus that is what I would
Yeah.
about how I would describe it. But
Hey, Billy, what was
Yes,
the
sir.
name of the other kit that you were showing there? Neural
I have a
net?
Neural nut kit. It's one of my favorite ones. It's that's the actual. I don't know if you can read that.
I sure
That's
can.
the actual
KNCH. Okay, I'll check that out. Thanks.
PSI. I haven't seen them anywhere but PSI.
Penn State Industries.
And that's the price that it goes for right there. I always write my costs on my bags. It's a $10 kit.
Yeah, I have found when I buy my pen parts, I tend to shop at other places for PSI products than PSI, in spite of the fact that I live roughly an hour and a half away from them. Because if I buy from them, I have to fill it in. I cannot order on the web. Otherwise, I pay sales tax. And then I have to call them anyway to get it refunded because I have a resale license. And
I found that you have to balance between one place you'll pay shipping and one place you'll pay tax. And you got to
Penn
figure
State
out
pays
which.
shipping and tax.
Yep. They got a couple of places that you can buy from that you won't pay any taxes, but you have to pay shipping. But Penn State's always high on their shipping.
They are. They are. There's a place I like to buy from, Wood Turnings, TURNINGZ.
Yep.
Yes.
Great. I don't know that it carries as much of the Penn State line as it used to, but it used to carry a lot of the PSI stuff. Exotic Blanks is another one. Turner's Warehouse is a good one. Probably some that I know there's some that I'm forgetting about. A fistful of places I order stuff from regularly. Mackenzie Penworks is one. They're starting to produce their own pen kits. It's all stainless steel, made in the USA, as in made in his shop.
Hey, Billy, I got a question for you.
Okay.
How do you store your bushings for your pen kits? You know, I mean, you have more than just one or two types of pen kits, right?
Yes, they're right here. I have an actual cabinet that I made to set under my lathe. If you can see that,
Yeah.
it's a drawer.
Okay. And all your pen bushings are in there?
Yeah, kind of laying in the bottom, but they're all in the bag still.
Okay. Yeah.
What happens is these bags will start to deteriorate. So I'm going to have to do something with them, you know?
Yes.
Okay.
Harbor Freight sells a box that has 24 little boxes inside, and it's only like $4 or $5, and it holds 24 sets of bushings, and they're sealed in little boxes that way. It really works well if you drop it.
Yeah, I used to do that too. And then I bought some bushings from Turner's Warehouse, I think it was, and they came in these little pop top tubes, kind of about the size of a small medicine bottle. Squeeze the sides, pops open. And I also sell those containers. I made some shelves that those containers drop into. Label the face of the container with a P-Touch labeler. Has the drill size, the bushing, what kit it goes with, who makes the kit, the important stuff. Label it a little bit on the top, and I just keep them in alphabetical order in shelves next to my lathe.
That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a little comment about the way he was turning, both right and left-handed. I find that I do that routinely, even though I'm right-handed. I do it routinely so that I can use the other side of the swept back for
Yes, it's nice.
cuts.
It's nice and sharp. It's nice and sharp, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it uses both sides of the sharp. I mean, I'm not
evens it out, right?
If I sharpen that side, I might as well use it.
Yep.
Yep. Susan, can you tell us what kind of system you have for your bushings?
I got the PSI bushing savers, and I've got them with different bushings.
Okay.
And I've got them filed in alphabetical order. The ones that are just 2 bushings are in white from the P-Touch. And the ones that are 3 bushings are yellow. And they're all labeled, and that's what I use.
And color coded. Wow. Okay. I have one like a plastic container, like you would use for a tackle box. You know,
okay.
One lid, and it's got all the little individual boxes in it. And I think I have maybe 6 of them. One of them would hold all my 7mm bushings. I have one for 8, 10, 3/8, and one then just for my gun pens.
Okay. I haven't really gone into a craft fair yet, but that's what my intent is by the end of this year. And I'll have to talk to you, Brenda, about that later on.
Okay.
Well, you're in Tampa, right? You live in Tampa?
Yep, I do.
Yeah, you got a lot of money down there. You'll do well.
I'll tell you, I have a lot of money down in Naples.
If you're selling houses down there, you got plenty of money.
If you go down to Naples and say you're driving a Cadillac, that's a pauper's car. It's unbelievable. When I was doing working at the post office and doing a program called Post-Division where I was broadcasting on TV through computers for the employees and the customers. They sent me down there and I had a minivan from the post office. Everything was a car that was not even issued yet. It was just unbelievable. So you want money, you go down to Naples.
What's the other? Juno Beach or Juno? I can't remember where that is on the East Coast.
They have a wood turning club named in Juneau.
Juno or Jupiter Beach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on the west coast. And I'm actually in Largo, which is, it's part of the Tampa Bay area.
And we're coming down. We're coming down there in. We're coming down in right after Thanksgiving. We're going on a cruise out of Tampa.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Come down. Give me a call. I'd love to see you guys.
I don't know. I don't know if we're coming a day before or not. We can't find a motel over there less than $300 a night.
Go stay with Susan.
It is outrageous. There's a whole bunch. There's a whole bunch of us coming. There's a whole crew of us going. But, it's crazy.
I would find you just go over and stay with Susan.
That's what I said. Come on over. Stay with me.
I think we're gonna stay in Lake City. We're gonna spend the night in Lake City and then just drive like 3 hours to the Tampa terminal.
Okay.
I think that was our plan.
Can't find anybody. Just come on down and stay with me. Let me know.
So, Billy, I see you have the Penn State turn between center set up there. How do you like that? Have you ever had problems with it?
No, I haven't. I would have used it for the demo, but it's really set up for just one section. You can't turn two. But I don't think you can turn two. Can you?
No, you can't.
I like it because it's quick. Okay, I mean you can take one out and put one in, and if you set it up right, like I did. But if you set it up right, you can drop one out.
Oh yeah, they're fast. But yeah, because with a mandrel you can get some flex in the middle. With this, you don't have any room for flex. It's not going to flex on you if you over tighten it.
I've never seen this system before.
I've had problems with the Penn State system. I have one. I just don't use it anymore. I use a 60-degree dead center in the headstock and a 60-degree live center in the tailstock.
So you got nothing in your way here. So
No, that's what I use. The same thing, Matt.
Well, yeah, then the 60-degree centers, they'll center up nicely just in conventional bushings, or you can get actual turn between center bushings that are cut with that 60-degree cone in them to line up with your centers nicely. Works great. I even use it to turn slims, 2-part pens, the cigar pens and all that. I'll turn them with that, just turn one at a time, but you really have to be careful of your orientation. Especially if you want to match green.
I like the mandrel saver. I've seen all the stuff on the between points, but when you've got the mandrel saver, you're almost doing the same thing because you're not bending the mandrel.
Right.
Right. That's the system I use too. I like that.
Yeah.
Hey, we were talking about bushings a couple of moments ago. I got kicked out by my T-Mobile internet connector. Really great, folks. If you're going to get internet, get anything except T-Mobile. We're not commercial here, but we're talking about bushings. The thing to keep in mind is the instructions you get. Billy pulled the stuff out of his drawer just now, and he had the package and the instructions. The instructions give you the sizes of those bushings. So if you've got that system Andy's talking about with the little, or somebody was talking about the little trays, tackle box inlet things, and you mix one from the other, which one goes with what? So get your micrometer out and get your instructions out, and it will give you those sizes so you can check it. And if you're turning a pin and you're getting shoulders, when you put it together, you may have cut your bushing. Get out your micrometer and cut that. Check that. I always cut mine. I don't like how big they are.
A lot of times the bushings are interchangeable too. They'll want to sell you another set of bushings, and you'll have one that'll be a couple of thousandths within tolerance to that bushing, and you can just turn with that one.
Yep.
You know, I've actually put a piece of tape on the outside of one before just to add that, so make sure I didn't hit it. That's how they make their money, bushing.
Yeah.
I take
All that we're
fingernail
not commercial
polish.
here. All right. What is that you're turning, Billy?
Oh, this is just the neural nut. I just put it on there. It's just got a different setup. It's a between center type setup. It's a little more stable. It's a lot quicker, you know, as far as swapping it out. If we're turning multiple ones, you could drop it out, put another one on really quick.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Anybody else got any more questions for Billy?
Now, if you wonder what this kit looks like, Doug Miller showed some pens he did for the 22 pen project that's hopefully not ending right now. And Billy had used a kit that would be similar to this. I call it a Patriot because the first ones that PSI came out with, they were called Patriots. I like to see a lot of wood on my pens. This gives you that opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, the executive will too.
Oh, I love the executive.
Yeah.
Yep. I got some other one, junior something.
Not talking about the Junior Majestic, are you?
Yeah, I like it. There's quite a few of them that I really like. It turns on the bottom.
Yes.
Yes. I'm trying to think what they don't call it a generator. They call it something, engine, or it's on the bottom. I like that.
Transmission.
Transmission. That's it.
That's it.
Yep, the mechanism's the transmission. I like when you said junior. My first thought went to the there's a junior series of pens. I know Turner's Warehouse carries them, like the junior gent, the junior, I forget what all. There's a whole bunch of them. They all take the same set of bushings. They're all the same size, but most of those are capped pens. They're rollerball pens, and you need to have some. You have some good sized blanks for those. The cap drill is 12.5 millimeters. The body's 10.5 millimeters to drill. I forget what the outer dimensions are.
I know if you can, if you possibly can, get your drill bits, get your brad point bits. Brad point bits are going to do much better. And also when you go to drill your piece, is make that a little bit longer than it needs to be, because a lot of times it's going to chip out when that drill bit goes through the bottom. You don't want to be fighting with that chip out.
Yeah, I don't do this, but I know some people that'll drill, they'll keep the blank long, they'll drill into it far enough that they know the tube will fit, then they cut the other end off. They don't drill the whole way through, they just cut the other end off.
Yep.
So,
a lot of people that do that.
I don't bother with that. I don't have too much trouble with chip out, but I do on resin and stabilized, I do get more chip out than I do with plain wood. I also like to use the fish parabolic bits. They have a much, I don't know how to describe it, the twist to them, there's not as many twists, I guess you could say. They're longer bits. They're made for pen. They make them for pen.
The fish bits are fantastic.
Yeah, FISCH.
For acrylic, yeah.
Yeah, the pen turner's bits, they eject the chips like nothing I've ever seen.
That's what they're made for, yeah.
And I never have chip out. I mean, I do get some, but hardly anything with acrylic as long as you use the fish bits.
Yeah, you can get chip out with them, but you have to work at it.
Yes.
Fish bit.
FISCH.
All right.
Colt makes a good set.
All right, time out. We're going to let Billy spin some shavings.
What you want me to do? Spin some shavings?
I thought you were going to spin that piece.
I'll do whatever you need me to do. You let me know.
You want him to make shavings? Come on.
Go for it.
Go for it, Billy.
This is very basic, okay? Very basic.
Yeah, make some shavings.
Nothing you can do to this. It's just a straight turn.
We go back to gallery. Brenda's going to start seeing animals in pieces again.
Eddie don't want to see no animals.
No, and we will continue gallery this evening, folks. If you have something to show, put it right in the gallery in our chat. I have something to show. Brenda will get your name. She'll introduce you, and then you start talking. If you don't talk, we can't go anywhere. So that's it.
I don't have something to show, but I'm going to have to drop off here. It's been nice, guys. Good evening. Good night. See you next time.
All right.
We'll be here. Thanks.
See you
Good
next
night, Matt.
time. Take care.
Stabilize.
What kind of wood is that, Billy?
It's African Babinga, but it's been stabilized. It's hard as a rock, dude. Hopefully, it's not gonna chip out. You never know. You never know with a burl. I think it's a burl. You never know what's gonna come out of it. You know, liable to get halfway through it and then a big chip come out.
But it's a burl.
Hopefully not if it's been stabilized. Yeah.
I think I stabilized it when I first got my little stabilizer. I was stabilizing everything there for a while. I was doing pine cones. Oh my God, you don't want to do pine cone pins. They're beautiful. You will fight trying to get all the air pockets out of them. They're beautiful. You'll sell every one of them that you do.
And you do pens out of that?
Oh yeah.
I had a blank. I looked at it and I said, "There's no way I'm doing a demo with a pine cone turn." I would have never got it finished.
My buddy used to KB pine cone and
It just
poured a blank.
It just sucks up everything.
Yeah.
All your
I like
super glue.
using spruce cones because they're long and skinny. And they tended to work a little bit better than pine cones.
Checked out, excuse me. I checked out both of those sites that Billy put in the chat, and they both have all kinds of pens, pen kits in both of those sites.
You know what I failed to mention, and a lot of people probably already know this, but you look over what you're turning, and you line it up on the back end of the bed lathe, and you can tell if it's flat or not. I don't know if a lot of people know to do that, but that's something that I haven't heard too many people speak about. You know.
Explain that again.
That's what I thought you were going to say. It's a good one, huh? Yeah. You get your eye, line your body up where you can just look right over the top of your surface of what you're turning until you just start to see the bed lathe appear. Just keep moving forward with your body. And once you see the bed lathe appear, if it's a straight line, then that means what you're turning is perfectly square. If you've got some bubbles on it, then that's your high spots. That's the ones you want to take down. So it's like a way of knowing, other than stopping the lathe and putting a flat piece of bar on there. I can tell that I got a little high spot right here.
I don't turn flat pins.
I don't need
I
it.
don't either.
But it's just but if you're turning anything flat, it's just a way of telling where it's at.
Thanks, Billy.
All right, be careful, folks. We can almost violate the butt rule. Okay.
Uh-oh.
The beauty of pens, I don't want to shut anybody out. The beauty of pens is that is your palette.
Right.
That's why I'm so good at it.
Yeah, I don't know. They're for me, they're
Yeah,
just something
you were,
that keeps me from going flat.
Yeah, well,
Like a little crown on it, you know.
Our king of embellishment is Bob Moffat, the Birdhouse Bob. You can do embellishing on this piece.
Yep.
Without, if the wood's dense, you can do almost anything on it. Burning lines, engraving.
Engraving, yeah, that's what I like to do.
If you like
That's
Billy, he's already
definitely a
shown us how to do laser engraving on them.
Ready. Well, see, I look at something like that and see all that grain and think, oh no, I can't cover that up.
You could enhance it with some stain.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
what
you
was
can have
that?
fun with that.
Embellishing wax and stuff. Yeah, different colors. Oh yeah. Oh my. You know.
I've done things like painted Celtic knots on them and stuff like that too.
I
I like
tried to color one with Alumilite color. And then when I went to put the CA on it as a finish, all the color came off.
Oh no. I've had a lot of
that
success
sucks.
with those chestnut spirit stain, but you want to make sure you don't seal the piece before you do it. And I mean, you're working with a pen blank, you don't have a lot of room there. So, there's not a lot of space for the wood to soak up stuff unless you're doing it thicker.
I don't want to kick on my freaking vacuum system. I'll run everybody out of here. Only a few feet away.
Yeah, when you turn down one of these pens, they're like what, 2-3 millimeters thick. The wood itself.
Oh yeah, you don't have much left.
Yeah.
And you're so close to the brass tube. It's amazing.
Well, and actually that's a good reason to put a bead right where it comes down to the brass on the end. It helps protect that end. If you put a couple of beads there.
Like he did on his slimline.
Yeah. If you lay one of these things in your car window and forget it, or even in the car and the dash and forget it, you'll come back to a cracked pen.
That's true. Yep.
Ask me how I know that. Yeah, right.
I read about that one time, Billy.
Are you able to
include-
send it?
I
Were you
include
able
an
to save the
instruction
piece,
card.
Gary?
No.
I include an instruction card with pins that I sell, telling them use it.
Not
That's
to
what
do
it's for. Don't leave it in a hot car. There's a small list that fits perfectly on a business card.
Oh.
Yeah. I had some African ebony and it turned out beautiful. And I made the mistake of leaving it in my car and the entire length of the pen blank cracked from the
Oh my goodness.
the brass expanding at a different rate than the African ebony.
And what's wood do? Wood moves.
Yep.
Yep. I sold a walnut burl roller ball.
Billy, that's cheating.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Billy Dillard. I saw Billy Dillard cheat just now.
Oh.
I want to see what it was going to look like.
He spit on it.
Oh, mercy. Walnut burl roller ball. He forgot to take it out of his pocket. His wife put it through the washer. He brought it back to me and he said, I'll pay for you to fix it, but I just hope you can fix it.
Oh, goodness.
Sometimes things happen. I had a lady call me and ask me if the pecan bowl I made for her husband, a popcorn bowl I made for her husband, was dishwasher proof. But she wanted to know after the fact.
Yeah.
I'm kind of disappointed in my iPhone as far as working with Zoom. Maybe I'm missing something, but when I was using it before, just using my camera, I was able to zoom, and I can't. There's no zoom function available on my camera when I'm inside of Zoom.
You can zoom on one view or the other view, either the front or the back. I think you can zoom looking from the back. You can't zoom looking from the front. That's what I found on my phone.
Because I mean, before I was on Zoom, I could just take my fingers and wipe them, and I can make my camera zoom.
Oh,
no,
okay.
it doesn't zoom at all now. So I don't know.
Everybody, pull up your phone and check.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't have an iPhone.
This is
But it
bad
does-
when you go to McDonald's. When you go through
very-
McDonald's and the girl taking the orders on the phone, on her iPhone, I wonder, when did they start taking phone orders?
Billy, this is a great demo.
Love it.
Well,
That's pretty.
I'm not a demo person, so I'm just.
Oh, now
hanging
you are.
on.
Now you are. Brenda, write
Well,
it in. We
I
got it.
still don't have. I still don't have the right setup to do what I need to do. But
Matt Harper can come down to the house and set it up for you.
he's got a nice deal there. That's for sure.
I'm going to violate the butt rule. He just said he's not a good demoer, but you just demonstrated that you are.
Yeah. I said, Brenda, sign him up. We don't let him get away.
All else.
I haven't
Tell Dane to
turned.
give him a call.
I haven't turned a pin. It's the first pin I've turned in probably a year.
Oh,
Just kind of got away. I got away from pins. Just kind of doing some other stuff.
A lot of lasering.
Yeah, I kind of got caught up in that.
Yeah.
It's not my fault though.
You can laser. Now you can laser pens.
Yeah. I'll be calling you guys when I set up my laser.
That's
We'll expect that. We'll expect that.
Okay.
I say call Ronnie.
My new one has a rotary jig where you would just lay this pin blank on it. You wouldn't even have to attach it. You just lay it on it and it rotates.
Wow.
I have yet to test my rotary jig.
Yeah, so that's supposed to be the. Of course, they're always coming out with something new, but they got one now that you can turn. You can do a baseball. It'll hold a baseball.
Oh wow.
Yeah, golf ball and baseballs.
I got a caution though. If you refer to Ronnie, you must be proper. It's Professor Ronnie.
Okay, right. He's got a new name too. Professor.
We have a donut shop right down the road from my house. It's called Mr. Ronnie's.
There you go.
It's a Ronald.
It's beautiful grain to it. It's a pity that it's a straight piece of wood, I'm not an artistic person. I can't figure out what else you could do with a straight pin. With a straight pin like that. I don't know what else you could do here other than some cobes and some beads, but
Want some ideas, Billy?
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not an artistic person. I just I look at something somebody does and I change it up a little bit or do something different. And
Let me get that. Let me get the image up and I'll share it with y'all about some of the things that I did. I tried to get really creative with the straight, the backs of the pens.
I'm like Billy. I think they're, the straight ones are just kind of boring. I mean,
Yeah,
other than, just the beauty of the wood itself.
Matt, when you get that ready, add spotlight to you.
Okay.
Billy, are you going to put that one together for us, Val, and finish it, or?
No, it's going to have to be sanded, and I don't want to I don't want to turn on my sander.
I see.
You won't be able to hear anything. And I'll have sand all over, dust all over the
Gotcha.
motor home. And
Yeah.
my, it's gonna be bad.
Okay. Anybody got any other questions for Billy then?
It's pins. It can't be too many questions on pins.
All right, y'all ready for to
We've
see?
had about an hour's worth of it.
Y'all ready
My
for me to
favorite-
switch
my-
switch
My
away
favorite
here?
thing is what Bob Moffitt was showing tonight. That's been my favorite thing I've done recently is the live edge bowls. I love doing live edge bowls.
Yeah.
That's fun. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It is, especially if you can keep the bark on.
Yes. And that thick of bark too.
All right, Matt's popping in now with the screenshot. There we go.
So you can add a couple of lines. You can add some beads. Some of these, like the third one from the top and the bottom one, I've sort of painted the barrels. You can add contrasting wood, like the fourth one down from the top. This one is Cocobolo and Holly. So that's just a few of them. Let me see if this works here. Hang on. that work?
Ooh.
Nope, it doesn't.
See now when you're on the screen, I can actually zoom what you're showing, but I couldn't zoom my camera. That's weird.
Maybe it's a phone function.
I don't know.
Why doesn't this?
It worked. It worked fine just on a regular video, and it was perfect.
All right, did that switch? Can you guys see a new image?
Yes. Yes.
Switch.
All right, I can zoom
Oh,
these
yeah.
too, but anyway, but I added some beads and stuff near the
Yeah.
barrels, and or some grooves and so on. So there's a lot of things you can do with it.
Yeah.
And that's just some examples.
On those, you just got to make sure you add that bead below the pin clip or the pocket clip.
Actually, you can get away with adding them in the middle of the pocket clip too.
Yeah.
So I've done like 6 beads, and it doesn't affect the functionality of the pen.
Okay.
Those are beautiful pens, man.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I haven't made these in a while, so this was years ago. So I'm sorry. Anyway, that's I have one that I don't know where the picture is for that, but it was my favorite. I painted a full rose with leaves and stuff on a white. The rose was special for somebody, but it was cool.
Thank you, man.
Anyway.
Appreciate you sharing it. We're back in Billy's shop. All right, Billy, like Doug said, you lied to us. You are a good demonstrator. Don't. You're not on a cheap. You're not on a cheap ticket. We'll pay you more than you used to pay.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't turned a pin in a long time. I had to actually find all my stuff.
Well, it worked out for us. You did well.
Good job.
Made for a very controversial turning. A lot of input from membership, and I appreciate that when a membership jumps in with their nickel's worth, and not to belittle anybody. That's what we're here for. We want everybody's nickel on the table, and if you have an idea like we just heard, there's in our chats probably 20 different vendors for pens in there that you can do. We've talked a lot about Penn State Industries, and Kraft's got them, and Rockwell's got them, and yada 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 yada. And it's, if you shop, somebody said pens, I don't see anything I like. I got a catalog with over 100 different styles in it. You know, well, I don't know what you're writing with or stealing from the bank, but ours, we can get everything. And I've made so many points in my wood turning life with giving away pens to folks, and maybe finding something that's tuned to them. And while we're talking pens, Freedom Pens is still alive and kicking. We'll talk more about that in moments.
I got a couple nickels I'd like to throw on the table. Some pens I've made, if you can help me here.
All right,
Gordon.
We're going to try to get over to
Who are we talking to?
Who we got? We got
Gordon.
Gordon Kingslow. Gordon, we're going to.
There you go.
Yeah, hi, Gordon. Go ahead, sir. Whoop.
Okay, there we go. Anyway, here's a pen I made that it's a single piece with it's a twist pen, but you twist the nib.
Yeah.
And it's a baseball bat. And here's
Nice.
another one I made that's out of an old arrow, and it's a twist pen also. There's no top, no seam in it, no division. It's a one-piece pen, just to show that you can make a pen that you probably make one 10 feet long if you got a thin enough dowel. But those are a couple pieces you can do unusual things. And
Very
along the
creative.
lines of what Matt was showing, here's one that I've made that's got a floating ring on it,
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
and then
Oh,
holly bottom
That's
and a
cool.
mesquite top. But there's
Yeah,
so
and-
many things you can do to modify a slimline, particularly. But you have to use, you can't use standard kit parts for all of it. You can use some, but you can make this top part, as long as you want, or dowels or anything you want to put on it. But just a couple
you
ideas of.
You don't have to put the clip on the pen,
No.
which opens things up.
Right.
On that pen turners page, on those pen turners pages, that's some really great creative ideas. Some where people were taking the the middle band out and turning the back, the back end piece on a slim line so it covers up the part that's near where the pen writes. I mean, there's all kinds of really cool creative things people can do.
You can make your own center bands is another thing. This one's just got a piece of acrylic and use that instead of a regular center band.
Yep.
You can also take a pen, and you don't have to put a center band in it like you would normally put right in here. Up here, this top part turns up here.
Yep.
So you put it up top instead of but you have to use special length, cut your own tubes.
Tubes, yes.
Yeah, but you
make
can
them
buy
fit,
those
but,
brass tubes too. All those pen suppliers
yeah.
will sell you
Yeah.
the long brass tubes. So
Oh yeah.
That's what I got.
There's another modified pen that twists again at the nib, but you have to use 7 millimeter and 8 millimeter tubes inside to make it. If you ever want a book on how to modify one, Don Ward, if you know who he is, has a terrific book on modifying pens, slim lines and trim lines.
those are great
Anyway.
ideas.
Yeah, I've also got one
Why
more
don't you
pen
put
to
that in the
show.
web on the chat?
Pardon?
Why don't you put the name of that book on the chat if you know it?
On the modified pens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Name of the book.
It's I think it's just modified slim lines, I believe. I'll look it up and put it on the chat.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gordon.
Okay. Billy,
Hey, I got one
Dillard has
pen. Yeah, I got one pen to show you. This is he's talking about, Matt was talking about things that you can do, imagination. This is they call it a PTAC pen. It's actually made to bust a window out of your car. It's a self-defense type pen. It's metal. And what I did was I did a resin cast. So it's actually cast, the tube itself is, photo is cast on a waterproof label. And that waterproof label is adhered to that brass tube. And then you pour it in clear resin. And then you turn that clear resin on the lathe, and then you polish it. This just happens to be this super dome with the Sphinx. But it's unlimited of whatever kind of photo you can come up with. It just needs to be a high resolution photo because the resin has a tendency to magnify. So when you put your artwork in there, your artwork is it looks real small, but when you finish, it's actually magnified. So it turns out really good. I do a lot of casting like that. I can't make up my mind what I want to do, but it's a neat pen kit. It's a self-defense type deal,
Cool.
Hello.
That's all.
Hello.
Very very heavy pen.
Hello.
Who's there?
Yes, this is Dave Edwards from Michigan. I think Eddie has a pin that I gave him a photo of his logo several years ago, a couple years ago.
Oh, it's on my other desk. Yes, it is. It's gorgeous.
And you could use photos with epoxy anytime you want. As long as you learn how to use it.
Okay.
Goodbye.
No, Eddie's gonna go get it.
Right here, yeah.
Eddie's just going to be impressed that he knows where it's at. That's what he's going to say. I know where it's at.
I'm in my new shop. I know where things are.
Ain't got much in there.
You mean you hadn't had time to lose them yet?
There's 38 packing crates out under the canopy. This is what he was talking about. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Nice.
It's a cigar pen there. Lots of room for artwork in there.
Look, yeah.
Yeah.
Good
That's
pictures, everything
beautiful.
else.
Yep. Nice.
An ammo pin. That's I spoke about this earlier. These are unlimited palettes or canvases to work on. Unlimited. If you think they're just pens, when I introduced Freedom Pens to a club, one of the guys who wanted the organization to go more artsy said, pens? I don't do pens. And I said, that's my challenge. Do a pen. And I tell you, you can joke about it, whatever you want. What we saw it tonight with Billy Dillard, he did roughing, shaping, slicing, detailing, sanding, finishing. That was one little pen. I mean, just one
Coves.
one stick of wood. Now this isn't wood. This is corian. This was sent to me by one of our members, and he did this, and he put the little note in there. He did this with scraps he got at Home Depot, or samples he got at Home Depot. Not saying go to Home Depot and take samples. I don't have anything against them, even though they've closed most of my favorite lumber companies and hardware stores. But that, is a consideration to make. But I've got them out of aluminum, corian, epoxy, 2x4. This is a stick of 2x4. And look at that kit. That kit is a 9-cent Bic ink pen center that normally I just pop them out with my fingers. But that's all it is. A stick of 2x4 and 9-cent refill or insert from a Bic pen, and you've got something perfect for a gift for somebody. And if you want to go high end, Brenda, get out your laser. That's my wife. Yes, she won't use my name. That's and with hearts on it. We don't be put off by it's just a pen. It's not just a pen. It's a canvas that you can do whatever you want on. And if you want to learn how to do embellishment, line burning, coves, dips, beads, whatever, those all work in everything else, or practically everything else you turn. But you get to practice on a little stick. And if you don't want to buy a kit, don't worry about it. Don't buy a kit. Put it between centers and practice. Practice your shapes. Practice your coves, your beads, your line burning, and all that. Practice it. And when you get it done, put it in front of you and copy it. That's it. Simple. If you have a pattern, you can do anything. So we're talking pens. Billy, thank you so much for your demonstration this evening. It was very good. In fact, it was so good, we're going to pass your name on to Dane so he can sign you up again real soon.
Let's get some more gallery done.
Let's go.
If,
wait, Brenda, before you do more gallery, let me mention to folks, because I lost my chat a few minutes ago, and I'll get a copy from Dave. In our chat, 2 things, 3 things, maybe more. Chat's wide open. If you have an event coming up or know of an event coming up that involves wood turners, whether pay-per-view, club, open, whatever, put it in our chat so we can add it to our events list. No charge, free. Number 2, if you want to be on our contact list, put the information you wish to have on our contact list in our chat. Our webmaster will take it out of there before he posts it to our website. And number 3, what kind of lathe are you using? It's just a survey, a poll, or what? Not a poll, a survey. What kind of lathe are you using? We want to know. If you would, brand, size, whatever you want, put it in chat. I want to know about it. Now we're going to go back to gallery. Thank you, Brenda.
Let's see if Bob Grinstead's back.
There he is. Oh, he ain't unmuted yet.
How about that?
There he
All
is.
right.
Bob.
I've got a couple. Let me get that thing off the screen here. All right, I've got a couple of deals here. I've got I don't know what you call it, a crotch bowl, I guess.
Nice.
Very
turned out to
nice.
be a nice crotch, and that's Parfex. That was sanded to 400 and Parfex, and it comes out a sheen, not a glossy finish.
Nice. Still got a nice shine to it.
Yeah, still got a nice shine. Real super smooth. I mean, it feels like glass. It's just because it's 400, you don't get that super shine. And this one here is a hackberry. That one there was elm. But this one here is a piece of hackberry. We find the grain. I don't know if you can see the grain in it or not.
Oh, yeah. It's too shiny. I can't see the green.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh, there we go.
Yes,
but
it
anyway,
is.
this is that was to 800, and this comes out real glossy. So
It's gorgeous.
you see the
Yes.
Detail on that rim. I like that.
Yes. Hold it up.
On the side.
Yeah.
You have a little embellishment between two lines.
There you go.
Yep, that was it. Just trying to
Nice.
little embellishment there.
It's
I'm not
beautiful.
used to the tool, so I have trouble with that one. And I got into bowls, I guess. I switched from different things, but this was a piece of pecan, and it's pecan can be pretty plain, but you can see where the centers and and those turn out pretty, but the rest of it is pretty plain wood. So anyway, I try to embellish it, and this is was the fractal burning.
Gorgeous.
Before we do it.
We don't have any rules against that. That's safe. If you do it safely, that's a good addition.
Yeah, you gotta, just like anything else, you have to respect it and know what it's gonna do.
Wow.
It's beautiful.
Anyway,
Gorgeous.
that's what I got tonight, guys, is 3 bowls.
Thanks, Bob.
Yep.
It's
Yeah,
gorgeous.
let's go to Matt Harbor. Matt.
All right, thank you very much. I got a couple of things. I've been in the finishing shop, so let me switch to the overhead to show. The piece that I showed, made a jig on the bandsaw, and this is the piece I was cutting out. So this is
Yes.
So that's let me see. There we go. Nope. There we go.
There you go.
So I singed the top. This is box elder. It's not finished. I singed the top. I cut out my little pieces here with my little jig I showed, and and I sanded them, with the hand sander. So that's that
one
piece.
that you just left could be a J on a knitting bowl. That where your thumb is, I think it is. Yeah. If you take half of that and just go over where your other thumb is, that would be a nice J in a knitting bowl.
Yeah, well, that was my whole purpose was making this jig so that I could, and I showed it in last week's meeting, to let me cut that slot in the knitting bowls, because those sell really well. So
yeah,
and I've been doing some natural edge stuff too. You guys know I like it. So this is a natural edge goblet.
Sweet.
Pith is in the middle. Well, not really quite in the middle. It's right there, but this is a silver maple.
Oh, nice.
I love it. And then there's another one.
Ooh.
A little taller, a little more radical.
Nice.
Yeah, I shifted it a little bit to get let me see if I can show that. There you go. I shifted it a little bit to get a bigger chunk out of it, And then I've got a couple other pieces.
Oh, don't drop them.
So this is walnut, also natural edge.
Gorgeous.
So yeah, it's a pretty piece of wood. It's still being finished. So and this is a piece of choke cherry. Natural edge also. I may hit the top of this with the torch before I'm done, but
nice.
Yeah, that's pretty wood too. So anyway, that's what I got. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Matt.
All right, folks, we're doing gallery. If you have something you want to show, go into chat, place I have something to show. Hopefully we get to you this evening. Our chat is wide open. If you have something you want to ask, comment on, etc., it's your meeting. Go ahead, Brenda.
Let's go to Sergeant Doug Rowe.
First Sergeant Doug Rowe.
Hey.
Sergeant, where we at? Oh, I missed the.
I'm here. I'm here. La 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 la. Start singing.
He's in La La Land.
This is me. I'm your Dougie. Oh, hey, there we are. So, if you're watching me on Facebook, this is the one I've been struggling with for a while. It was a dead piece of wood that lied to me. There was still a lot of water in it. So This is one of my more favorite sides there because it's got some character to it.
Mhm.
And another boring side. And then another side with character.
Need to engrave something on that boring side.
And then I got really lucky inside.
Oh,
gorgeous.
I can hold this. There is a ring in there. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody set their coffee cup on the coffee table, but it's not on the outside. So I just sort of uncovered it in there. And I thought, well, now I need to stop because I don't want to turn it away.
No, that's nice.
So that's pecan wood, or if you're one of those rich people, pecan wood, I guess. And a friend of mine gave me a whole bunch of it. So that was the first I turned out of it. So that's going back to him as a gift. And then I got more Freedom Pens sent to me today.
Oh, really?
Is Ron
No
Vincent
way.
on? Is Ron Vincent on? Ron Vincent.
Yeah. Yes, I am.
Some awesome pens, but then his wife stepped it up. Apparently, said Ron needs to send something even cooler than pens. I don't know what the conversation was at their house, how this happened. She made individual sheath for every pen that's in there, and there's quite a few. Oh, it's not on me again. What happened to me?
I'm looking. There you go.
How cool are these?
Cool.
And then open it up. We'll tell you what kind of pen. Oh, how about this one? How cool is
Sweet. Pull it back. Pull it back a little bit. There you go. Nice. Oh man.
Those are nice.
Now watch this. I'll just reach into this box. I don't know what I'm gonna get. It's like Christmas morning, opening gifts. I don't know. I'm gonna open this one. Oh, here we go.
Wow.
Just beautiful.
Let's do another random one.
Baggies, look at that.
Let me see.
From both of them.
That's very nice. Oh yeah.
And these are Freedom Pens, folks. These are going to actual members of our military, thanking them for their assistance in protecting our freedom. Hell, their assistance. They're protecting our freedom. That's why we do this Freedom Pen thing.
Looking to see. I thought I had well, there's so many in here now. I can't find the one that I really loved. But anyway, yeah. Ron, thank you. Thank you to your wife. You guys are awesome for sending that stuff to us. And correct me if I'm wrong. You were the one that asked me if I could make sure they go to the military police. Was that you?
That was me.
Okay, then yes, that will absolutely happen. I will make sure
Alrighty.
go to MPs.
Oh,
Thanks, Doug.
Doug.
Hey,
And
Brenda,
that's all I
take
got
note.
tonight.
Look, Brenda, Doug, go back to the other view. Brenda,
you
he's
go.
letting his hair grow.
Yeah.
I'm trying to grow my bangs out a little. No, I want to flip them.
And go for the ponytail. Add the ponytail.
Yes, yes.
Oh my goodness. That's
Oh,
what
man.
you had
There'll be a party in the back before we even know it.
Doug,
Yeah.
it really isn't working, Doug.
No, I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful. I checked with my mom. Told me.
Yeah, that's scary that I could run into you on the street about a week and I wouldn't recognize you.
This is gonna go though. It's all too itchy. I'm just not a beard guy, so that's about as long as it's getting. That's just me being like,
You're turning into a hippie.
yeah, no. Hey.
Or an artiste.
Artiste. All right. Thank you,
There you
Doug.
go.
You bet. Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Take care,
Doug.
Doug.
Let's
And if you-
let's
if you
go
have questions-
to
Whoa, before we talk to Scott. Hey, Scott. Remember, information on Freedom Pens is on our website. Go there and read it for yourself and be a part of it. Doug, what you have tonight?
Scott. What you got?
Scott, I'm sorry.
You guys were making pencils, so I have a
I have a carpenter's pencil, which is
Back
retractable.
Back it up a little bit. What is it?
The carpenter's pencil.
Nice
So
of
it
them
has
to use that larger lead.
Yep, it has larger lead and it's retractable. And the sharpener for the lead is in the eraser.
Oh, that's
cool. Cool.
Make one, folks, and put it next to your lathe. It works great.
Nice job, Scott.
There you go. I don't have very good lighting here. I'm at my place up north in northern Wisconsin. So
Yeah, it looks like you're in a
lighting.
cabin.
Yeah,
Nice.
Good.
that wood on the back wall, somebody was going to throw away because it had all them imperfections in it.
Oh man.
Gorgeous wood.
Yes, it is. Gorgeous.
Nice.
Nice.
That's all I got tonight.
Thank you,
All right.
Scott. Great
Thanks,
seeing you.
Scott. Let's find Howard King. Howard, talk to us.
Hold on, I'm trying to get there.
Howard.
Okay, you got to talk to us.
Can you hear me now? Can you
There
hear
we
me
go.
now?
We can see you even.
All right, good.
Good.
This is a vase that I've made. It's out of walnut and got a lid on it. So I guess you might call it a box, I suppose. Whatever.
It's a hollow form with a lid. Very nice.
It's whatever you
Hollow form
want
with
to
a
call
lid.
it.
Hollow form with a lid. Fancy box.
That's too much turning to be a box. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
That's
And now last week somebody said it's whatever you want to call it.
That's right.
Yes.
That's gorgeous.
Can you show the inside of the top?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a different treatment. I like that. That's
Ooh,
nice.
you've got some texturing too, right? Pull it back just a little bit.
There we go.
Turn
Yeah,
it.
beautiful.
There, you can see it. That is gorgeous.
Well, anyway, my brother-in-law died recently, and so my sister-in-law was over here, and she saw this, so she wants it. He's going to be cremated, so she wants this to put his ashes in. So it's not threaded. I made it a while ago, but I think it should work all right, don't you?
Yep.
Oh, it's beautiful. God
Oh,
bless.
yes.
Very nice.
Looks like it, or sounded like it had a snap top on it.
Yeah, it's pretty tight, real tight.
Yeah, good, good.
And I know none of y'all make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. I tear up stuff. I make funnels. I just kind of take one more cut. And so I have a bunch of projects that didn't make it laying around. So the other day, I've gathered all those together, and I thought, well, what in the world could I do with all this stuff? And so all these pieces are from different projects that came to an end. And so so I put it all together, and I don't know what you would call it, maybe a mutt or
Hold on a minute. There we go.
what you
There you
call
go.
it or what. But this was the base I was going to make for something I can't remember, several years ago, and this is the little stem that I made out of black wood that was made for something that didn't get done, something tore up. And this part right here was a hollow form that I went to the side, so it separated. And this was a finial that I had started for something and decided to change my mind for something else. So anyway, I kind of modified each one where they would fit together, and so I don't know.
That is gorgeous.
I love
job.
And now
would
you
say
got a
that's
piece of
quite-
art.
Yeah, they're quite
Oh,
successful.
I guess is that what it would classify as art? I don't know.
That's a
Yeah,
pretty
That's
thing.
what I'd say.
Design
That's a
exploration.
beautiful
That's very
piece.
nice.
So
Yeah.
anyway, I don't know if anybody does stuff like that or not. I get a wild hair every once in a while and say, well, shoot.
Oh, it's
Cindy
gorgeous.
Drozda does stuff like that. So you're in that
Yeah.
league with that. So go for it.
There you
Well,
go.
anyway,
Upgraded
I
to
just
Cindy Drew's level.
well, I didn't know if y'all did stuff like that. You know, your stuff that tears up, you piled up.
got a
Then
stack
you
of
look
it.
at it and say, well,
We
you know,
all have.
I gotta do something with it, you know, especially this piece right here. This was the top of the hollow form, and
Yes, that is gorgeous.
I looked at it for a long time but anyway, all right, that's all I got.
Very
It's
nice.
beautiful.
Who's up?
Carl Gear.
Erie.
Oh, Gary, there we go. Yeah, yep, I see him right here. Right here.
There he is.
Oh,
I
another
had
pen.
him. Run away. All right,
Yeah, I got a
let's go
couple
back.
pens to show.
Okay.
This one.
Oh,
Nice.
Did a nice job.
yes.
Yeah, it's from Laser Lines, a fellow in Georgia.
Hmm.
And you get the pieces that are laser cut out, and then you put them in and glue them.
Mhm.
Oh, I've done some of those things are difficult to put together.
It's not too bad. That's one of them. And this is the one I really like.
Oh, beautiful.
Sweet.
The stars are individual
Wow.
in the cutouts. You place them in and glue it all together.
Oh man.
And that's
They are-
also from Laser Lines.
Yeah, and look how sharp those points are too on those stars.
Yes.
So which pen kit did you do?
This one is a
Yeah.
Junior Gent.
It's beautiful.
Oh.
Very,
Rollerball.
very nice.
Oh, that is gorgeous.
Isn't it though?
Yeah, I did these a couple of years ago.
Wow.
Really beautiful,
Very
Carl.
nice.
Nice job.
Okay, gallery is open to everybody and for everything you need to show. We ask you to stick with the wood turning. But we have a little fun here tonight. I'm looking at chat and I'm getting a lot of response on our survey. What kind of lathe are you using? One response is all is required. What kind of lathe are you using? We want to get an idea. That's all. And we'll put it in the newsletter when it comes out on the first week of July. We're back to gallery right now. Brenda, who's up on deck?
Terry.
Terry,
Okay, I'm here. You find me? I'm here somewhere.
I got you.
There we go. You got me. Well, I was out in the shop
There he is.
playing, and a couple of weeks ago we did a demo on Halloween, and I cut a blank out, and I didn't like it, threw it in the trash. And this morning I dug it back out. It's a piece of ash, and it had a lot of checks in it, cracks that were pretty bad. And I said, "This is never going to live." I put a little glue in it and started playing with it. And once I started hollowing it and took the pressure off of it, they all closed right back up again. They come out
Oh my
pretty
goodness.
good. It's not finished yet. It's got one coat of tung oil on it. It's not finished. It's got a bunch of worm intrusions in it. I haven't decided whether to hollow them out of there and fill them or leave them. You can see some of them there. There's quite a few of them.
They're features,
anyway,
Terry.
I love them.
Yeah, it came out pretty nice. It's a plain piece of wood. It's just ash, but it come out pretty nice. But what I wanted to show you last week, I showed you a 5-cornered bowl that Joaquin was teaching me how to cut the top on a miter box. And he cut the top
Ooh.
on this one and then gave it to me. I showed it last week with no finish yet.
Good
Well,
job, Terry.
I
Very
went
nice.
home and was trying to figure out how to do it on my miter box. He's got a 12-inch box, and mine's when I bought it, I still had errors, so it's only got a 10-inch blade on it. And I went to try to do it with that, and I come up with some different ideas and changed it around a little bit. And I was able to get this one. It's about 6-7 inches in diameter. And it's a piece of mesquite. And it's got a very unique feature because you don't see many 5-cornered boxes with 6 corners. I guess I wasn't paying enough attention to the measure and detail.
Good job, Terry.
But it came out looking pretty good.
Yes, it is gorgeous.
Actually, I sat down tonight here at the table with a bunch of protractors and different things and pieces of paper and went over trying to make a very easy way to do that. But just trying to simplify everything. And after about 6 or 7 drawings, I come up with some pretty easy drawings on it. Maybe someday I get together with Joaquin, we'll try to make a video on it.
Awesome.
Which is real easy to do because we live about 40 miles apart. But we might give it a shot.
Yeah, I've
He's
got
willing.
I got steps, pictures of us doing it, but not a video.
Yeah.
Thank you, Terry.
Okay.
But that's
Good
pretty
job,
much what I got. I didn't
It looks
break much
Terry.
else.
Somebody have a question? All right, we got one more. Matt Harbor says he has something else to show.
All right. Now, the only thing I've got is I found that picture I was looking for. That's all. So
Okay.
this is that pen I did with the little rose painted on it.
Oh,
Very nice.
that's gorgeous.
So, and I think if I remember correctly, I painted that rose with a toothpick.
Man.
So, but I was real happy with how it turned out. It was a gift for someone for who that rose was special. So, anyway, but that's all I had. So,
What's the material, Matt?
it's acrylic. It's it's one of those white acrylic pen blanks. I
Okay.
couldn't tell you what it is, but I probably did this 8 years ago. So, and it's a slim line. It's a black slim line.
Really nice.
Thank you.
Very nice. Thanks, Matt.
Yep.
Well, Eddie, that's all we've got in Gal tonight.
I've got a question if we got time.
We
Oh,
have
no,
time.
it's him
sir. Go
again.
ahead, please.
My wife picked me up something. I don't know if it was at the thrift store or garage sale or where she found it. And I don't know.
Close your eyes, Eddie.
So I'm going to throw it up and see if any of you know what it is. Made o metal, 36 gauge copper tubing foil.
Copper tooling foil. Okay.
Tooling foil, yeah. What the heck is that for?
I've used it for a laminate end pieces. I've got a couple of corian pens here where I cut a Celtic knot in them and use that for the accent. It's very exacting cutting and turning. I've also put it between pieces on segment turning for a great accent.
Okay.
How hard is it on your tools?
I thought you'd want this, and I'm like, I have no idea what it's for. I'll ask the club and see if somebody can tell me what it's for.
It's not hard on your tools if they're get this, if they're sharp, but it trims out best if you scrape it rather than cut it for the last couple of passes or last pass. And sanding, the one he just now showed, it might bleed a little bit on light woods.
Yeah.
But watch the pressure. If you're sanding, you're sanding. If you're polishing, you're polishing. So watch the pressure, and you'll do better.
Okay.
And I've seen it used in embossing projects too, where it's laid out flat and then something is embossed in it.
That's too
And
big
then-
of a for me. I don't know what that means. Embossed.
You use a tool to like draw pictures or make designs in it, and then
Yeah,
it's framed.
I understand that.
I've seen that done that way too, Matt.
Yep.
Like a little low pointer tool or something like you use on leather, you would inscribe the picture and
Yeah, even
toss
those
it out
wooden,
or in. Yeah.
even those wood clay tools would work.
Yep.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug. Doug, one step of warning, sir, before you do it in your laser, see what the restrictions are about that material in your laser.
That was my thought. What would it do? Would you be able to use it under your laser?
I think you have to coat it for reflection.
Yeah, one of the things you could do is lay a piece flat and then paint it, and then use your laser to burn away the paint to get a design on it.
Yeah, but remember, if you do something that's reflective like that, it's not a happy time. In fact, if you do a piece of plexiglass, a simple film of that blue painter's tape works if you're going to do plexiglass, because I've got a piece of glass plexi I did, and I engraved on one side, at least I thought it was. It came up off the table, and half of it was on the top and the other half was on the bottom, the indentation. So, and I knew nothing about what I was doing, so, and I didn't listen to the rules. So, all right, thank you, Doug. Great. And Doug handles our Freedom Pens for the Army. We have got members that handle them for all the branches. And if you wanted to go to a specific branch, you can just check on our website. It'll give you the contact and who you should send it to. With these go to troops. Something came up a while back. Did they go to active troops in combat zones? Think about it, folks. Think about a question like that. They're all in combat zones. They all are. Every one of them's got a function or a mission to protect our freedom and to do what it takes. And the 22 pen project is still ongoing. Turn 22 pens, send them into one of our Freedom Pen contacts. They go to a different operation. But they do go to veterans. They do. And it's all important in protecting our freedom. Enough on the soap wagon. Anybody else got anything tonight? We got about 5 minutes before I pull the plug on us. It's not mandatory, but we let it run, it runs. Okay.
I'll add one more thing. That bowl that I showed tonight, that's where all the shavings came from that Eddie put in the newsletter. Thank you.
Quite welcome. I think it was a trick for you to coat that with CA.
Well, here's what was funny about you guys asking me about that, because I had actually completely finished the outside of the bowl. And of course, CA is my go-to finish, especially when I'm filling something with a lot of cracks. And then because there was so much water in the bowl, overnight it had warped again and all my cracks raised up probably a good 1/8 of an inch. And so I had to shave it all back down again. So there really was a lot of CA glue in those shavings. So that's like, oh yeah, that really is the finish.
Thank you, Doug. Appreciate you sharing with us. And look, I have done some very nice pieces where the shavings were a critical part of going with the piece to show her off to stand it up in. One word of caution: if you're going to do you're going to put shavings together with super glue, do it outside with the respirator. It will fume up like you won't believe. I read someplace where it'll burn your nose, make your eyes water, and hard to breathe. I read that someplace. Not that I would do it, but be careful that. Yeah, we talked about CA finish on a couple of things tonight. CA is, highly hydroscopic. Yes, it works really well with moisture. You don't always need accelerant. Sometimes moisture is all we'll do. But like it loves moisture, it hates cold. It hates heat. So if you get something, bushings, that Susan say doesn't get on your bushings. If it gets on your bushings, the simple fix is take the wood off the mandrel, put your bushings on the mandrel, and hit it with a cigarette lighter. It'll crust up, and then you can just wait for it to cool, and then you can just brush it right off. I don't recommend sanding because that will change the size of your bushings. But if you have a little problem with that, wet and heat, two different ways to go on that. I know there's debonders and acetone and all that stuff. If you stay basic, you won't be exposed to it. Some folks cannot be around acetone. It lights them up. And you should have proper ventilation. Like Billy says, he's got his dust collector for picking up dust. I have my dust avoidance system in my shop with my little fans. And I'm in a house, so I can't do too much dust. I'll be out the house in a minute.
No, you can, Eddie. That's how you get your wife to let you build a whole new shop. That's exactly what I did. I got way too much dust in the kitchen. So I recommend it.
Yeah,
I
come
tried.
now. Now I gotta get a wife.
No,
That was good. I don't recommend that either.
Yeah, I'm gonna no comment on that one. Yeah.
We're about to cross that line, folks.
Matt's
Be careful.
chicken.
Matt's divorced and he learned lessons in the process.
I got a lot of trouble one time when I was doing radio. I used to say my last wife was my last wife. Then I met this one. So yeah, and she didn't see any humor in it whatsoever. But she takes care of me. Today was a rough day, and she did a whole lot for me. And look, I got a Brenda's award on me.
Fantastic.
Yeah. But hey,
I want my
when
name
I
on
fall-
that Band-Aid.
When I fall in the hospital. I make a shortcut.
Yeah, really. Hi, Joaquin. How are you?
There he is.
Doing well. How are y'all?
We're doing good.
Hey, Eddie,
Yes, ma'am.
I want my name on that Band-Aid.
Oh, yeah. But
It looks like there's big enough. It's big enough. There's room, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
yeah, I could do it. I put it on the Malaysia and put a picture on it of you. You know.
There you go. That might burn though, Eddie.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you're gonna put your hand under the laser. I'm not sure that's the wisest of plans.
I had somebody ask me if you do that, will it hurt?
Yeah, it'll hurt.
Yes.
Let
I
me
think
know.
so.
If
Yes,
you,
it will.
Oh,
if you
goodness.
hit your thumb with an 11-ounce hammer, does it hurt any more than if you hit it with a 16-ounce hammer? Think of why would you want to find out? All right. Been a great evening, folks. We had a good meeting. A lot of information shared tonight. Don't forget,
Great
Donald
demo.
Masterson in Australia reminds you, save the chat. Go on in there. And if you'd like to send us anything, the club's email is worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com. Our website, probably one of the funnest woodturning websites in the entire world, is worldwidewoodturners.org.com.
And if you would like to volunteer for a demo, to do a demo, get a hold of Dane. He'll sign you up. So whatever you got.
Dane's not with us this evening, but he normally handles gallery and he lines up all of our demonstrations. And remember, new members, he works for free. Take advantage of him. All right.
Just one other thing, Cap.
What's that?
This past weekend was Memorial Day, and I salute all those folks that were on active duty, reserve duty, National Guard, in all forms of service. God bless us all.
Thank
God
you.
bless
Good,
us.
good job.
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Toughest day of the year is that my PTSD, and folks wonder, is that made up, that PTSD thing? No, it's
Not-
not. Mine was so bad on Monday. I was miserable to myself because of what I was feeling and seeing. And it's not a day to celebrate, it's a day to commemorate.
That's-
That's it. Thank you, folks. We will be here next Wednesday evening for you. Everybody's invited. Pop in, share your stories, lie, whatever you want to do. It's right here on the tailgate, worldwidewoodturners.org. I will see you again next week. Good night.
Good
God
night.
bless
Good
everybody.
night. Good night, everybody. Good night.
Good night, John Boy.
Good night, all. Save the chat.
Save the
Take-
chat.
Alan.
Save the
Take
chat.
care, you guys.
We go back. I lost my screen early.